Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Thunder Alley 250 for the full-length Friday Night Lights series. It's going to be a lot of fun here tonight. We got Ron Mounts up here in the booth with me, Kirk Mills. Howie Burrow is going to be our producer tonight. We are going to be rocking this thing at the Rock. I'm so excited to watch and see all 39 total cars who have came out today to try and get this thing done.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one, Kirk. I'm looking forward to it. You know, this is one of those tracks, I think the first one that we're visiting so far this season that I got the opportunity to broadcast here in this series about a year ago. We were treated to a thriller then, but there's a little bit of uncertainty in the air here, Kirk. We got a brand new repave of this track that's certainly going to throw a wrench in the works, but we have plenty of time to talk about that.
Absolutely. Brand new repave. Honestly, no idea how it's going to look. It's going to change everything. Last year we ran on the old asphalt. Now, guess what? We are here. I should say on the old concrete. Now we got the asphalt all over the place. And it's going to be changing the way it looks. But last week, Martinsville, chaotic finish. But Bryson Hixenbaugh came away to get his first win of the season in the Old Dominion 250. Did a fantastic job at the end of that race to take control after the end of the second stage. If you haven't seen that, be sure to go and take a look at the highlights section here on Maconi Entertainment. You can take a look at that. Also, take a look here. You got your regular season's point standings, but guess what? Number one on the board, Adam Benefield, points leader. But guess what? Last week, after his contact he had with Joseph McWhorter, he is going to be having a one-race suspension after that contact, so he is not going to be racing here tonight. McWhorter will most likely, if he's able to hold off Hixenbaugh, perhaps take over the points lead. We'll have to find out who's going to be the new points leader at the end of the day, but we will have a new one. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup tonight here at Rockingham. Starting on the pole during the qualifying session, Andrew Dyson comes up and gets the job done, and to their outside, Lucas Hoytsma, a couple bushwhackers coming on in on the front row. Starting in third place tonight, Jacob Quill making a one-off start this season. He hasn't really raced that much, but it's good to have him here. Starting third, Joseph McWhorter will start in fourth place in the 73 car, and in fifth place will be Nolan Hodgson making a rare Friday Night Lights series start alongside Bryson Hixenbaugh in the 63. Starting in seventh is going to be Jesse Winslow in the 59 car. Very great qualifying effort for Winslow there alongside Bryce Reiner, who will be starting in the 5 car. Love that paint scheme this week. Casey Graves starting in ninth in the 01 car, and to their outside, Daniel Wiles in the 88.
Then looking outside our top 10, Hunter Truex will start this race in P11. Next to him will be Alex Coffey in 12th. Row number 7 will be Seth Foudy. He'll be alongside Wesley Napier making up that row. And then right behind them on row number 8, it'll be Jacob Simpson in the 22 car next to Jonathan Delaney in the 6 machine. First time that we've seen Delaney here in the series in a little bit. Jeremy Brown will start this race in P17. He'll be alongside Jared Grzycki in P18. And then rounding out our top 20 will be Brian Wortman next to Mason Lowry.
Starting in 21st tonight, Blake Kluot in the 14 car alongside Brandon Hunsinger in the 22nd spot in the 92 car. Cliff Mullins in the 44 will be racing alongside Matthew Boston Wheeler in 23rd and 24th respectively. 25th will be William Owens in that 30 car alongside Tanner Marty in the 29, starting in 26th. 27th will be Drew Prohl alongside Bill Hull, and that is 27th and 28th. Starting in 29th will be Tim Phillips in the 27 alongside Noah Woods, and that rounds out your top 30 starters.
And then running at your field here tonight, we got Eric Wineland and Michael Mesnard alongside each other on that row. Right behind them will be Ryan Von Henschel looking to have a smooth night here. Starting in 33rd, he'll be alongside Aiden Amaro. And then right behind them will be Kyle Amon next to Tyler W. Hunter in 35th and 36th. 37th will be Kevin Zosiak. He'll be alongside Charles Eaton in the number 75 car. And then running out our field will be the 39th and last place starter of Daniel Llewellyn.
There we go, folks. That was it. That was all of our new starters. We have a couple new guys here that are deciding to come on out here and try and drive today. I've never seen Aiden Amaro. I'm going to see how he does tonight. Only 4 sets of tires today, though, on this track. They got to take care of their stuff. They cannot go out there and just burn up the tires and push hard all the time. They got to take care of this stuff. 250 laps is a long way around here, and it's going to kill your tires. All right, 17x incident limit might also be a problem as well. It's really tied off too. Crashes happen there all the time. Stages are going to be after 60 laps and 120 laps. We'll make sure you check in and we'll race to those points. But you can see all 39 cars out there on the racetrack, and they're getting ready for the start of this thing. They're going to come around to get one more lap to go here, and I need one more lap after this, perhaps. We'll have to take a look. But Ron, tell me what your keys to victory are going to be able to do this.
Well, I think the main key is getting to comfort early. You know, we talked about it right at the top of the show, Kirk. The new repave of this place, it is a massive overhaul, a big change that these racers will try and grapple with, and that is a heck of a lot easier to adjust to said than done. So these racers are going to have to worry about that. Try and keep it clean as well. That 17x limit may be 4 incident points higher than what we saw at Martinsville last time out. We've got the same exact amount of racing on a track that, I'll be honest, Kirk, I think is a little bit tougher. The speeds are going to be higher here too, which leads to the accidents being a lot bigger when they do take place. So keeping on this field, just trying to keep it clean throughout the 250 laps that lie ahead.
Well, here we go, folks. 39 cars heading through turns 3 and 4. We're going to get this thing started. We got a bunch of bushwhackers up front. You got Andrew Dyson, Lucas Hoisman, who race in the full-length Cup Challenge. They're going to be coming out here. We also got Nolan Hodgson up towards the front, having good shots at it. Reach down, pull them belts tight. One more time. Here we go. From the Rock at Rockingham. Pace car is going to go ahead and dive it on down in the pit lane through that restart zone. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys. Dyson through turns 3 and 4 will clear, and now it is single file for the front 5. Not quite. Third place under fire, as it looks like Dyson will come to the line to lead lap number 1.
And Andrew Dyson, who has raced in these O'Reilly's cars quite a lot throughout this 2026 campaign up to this point, really showing his comfort early, trying to drive away from the rest of the pack of drivers, new and old, looking to impress here. Side-by-side racing throughout the pack, though, drivers looking to make hay while that sun is shining.
Yeah, they got to get down. This is exactly, just off the first lap alone, it's starting to get me major, like a larger version of Bristol. You got to get to the bottom. Top's not quite working, but I can tell you right now, I just saw Jonathan Delaney go up to the top trying to make the top line work. There's going to be some cars getting loose off that corner all day today, and that's where the runs are going to really start to show who's fast and who's not. But again, up front, those 3, Dyson, Hoytsma, and now Jacob Quill, top 3 drivers. And you're looking on your screen right now, that's a 71 racing of Hunter Truel battling for 10th. And everybody's just single file throughout the field right now.
Yeah, I think that is a good call for these racers. We would like it if they went side by side, but these racers, they aren't really worried about giving us an exciting run. They're worried about trying to grab the W. So they're going to look to try and manage their stuff in the early points of this race. They're going to try and take it easy. They're going to try and take it careful. But along with the racing out there on the racetrack, a point that we got to bring up here, Kirk, this is a qualifier for the Dash for Cash. So there's a little added incentive in for these racers to maybe bring the thunder a bit later on.
Yep, we got a battle on the track with Alex Coffey right now. 8th place, actually going to be trying to go on the inside of Jesse Winslow in the 59 car. First battle we're seeing on the track. These guys definitely want to go for that Dash for Cash you were mentioning. But right now, that 54 wants to get just up one more spot, up to 7th. He dives it in the preferred lane. 59's up out of the groove. He clears up and barely just had it. Oh, there goes Napier. Contact with Wiles, just a couple cars behind them. They hang on to the car, keep it straight. That is for the 10th place spot right now.
Yeah, it shows you these drivers still throwing bare-knuckle fists at each other and just trying to keep it on the road as well. You can see how sideways these cars are heading out of the turns. You know, although there has been a repave, I think there's one thing that remains a constant here at the Rock Curve, and it is the exit of these turns. They're a female dog for these drivers. They are absolutely a female dog.
I understand. But guess what? Winslow's going the wrong way in that 59 car. He's under fire again from Truhl this time. Truhl's on the bottom of the racetrack, a little couple cars back, and that 59's going the wrong way. He's got Daniel Wiles now underneath him, and it's going to be Wiles. I think he's got a gap behind Wiles. He might be able to get down, but it does not look like the Canadians really doing that hot right now early in this run.
Still looking at side-by-side battling. These drivers, I think, have now finally found their comfort zone, and they're starting to try and move it around a little bit. They're looking to find how you can get the moves done here. May get a little bit physical. You know, we're off the back of Martinsville, so we've already been a bit accustomed to physical racing here in this series. I feel like we're just going to see it continue here tonight. This is one of those racetracks where even if you can run multiple lanes, it can still get a little bit dodgy out there on the racetrack, so keep an eye on these racers to maybe break out the elbows.
Yeah, Wesley Napier now underneath the Winslow. Winslow just has a real big problem trying to get back down to the bottom. Car's not handling right. He's got a lot of... Oh, hang on a second, folks. Big development. Andrew Dyson, our leader, just had a connection drop to upload packet loss, which means he is out of the race. He has to rejoin from the... He's lost the lead. He's gone. Andrew Dyson is gone. Now Lucas Hoitzma will assume the lead as the rest of the folks will now pull in line. Second place, Jacob Quill is all over the back bumper of Hoitzma now for the lead.
And that right there, folks, is probably the easiest spot gain that Lucas Hoitzma has ever had in his life. But he's going to have to fight like hell to hold on to it, that's for sure. Quill right behind him, a 1/10 of a second is the gap. And if those racers start to battle, you got to look at your racers behind. Joseph McWhorter, off the back of what happened at Martinsville last time out, I think he's looking for a good result. Your reigning champion in the series as well, I think, is looking to try and get his first win of this campaign here in 2026. But he also has some very tough competitors in the form of Nolan Hodgson, and of course last week's race winner of Bryson Exenball. Really talented group of drivers currently holding on to spots inside the top 5. So if these top 2 can't start to battle all of their own.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you, pal, but third place, he just tried to make a move on him on the exit of turn number 2, and it looked like he was in the inside, had a little bit of a wiggle and had to back out of it, but that 12 car Nolan is pushing all over the back bumper as the leader now is going to be under fire. Here comes the 91 of Quill to the inside and second place. They're both battling for spots.
Be careful on the exit here. You can see that 91 start to skid a little bit. Another sideways snap for the 97 of Hoitzma. They're still side by side down the backstretch into 3 and 4.
Yeah, Quill gets the job done. Quill moves up to the lead, and Nolan Hodgson's trying to get third place back there. Hoitzma drops back to second, and now we got a new leader up front. It is that outlier driver of, again, Jacob Quill in the 91. He's got the lead, but look behind them in third place. Here comes Nolan to the inside. He's diving it down deep, trying to pass McWhorter, and it looks like he's going to get that job done easily.
As you can see, still a little bit of a sideways snap there from 12 of Hodgson. He's going to have to hold on to that, but he was able to hold on to the car. Now just has to worry about holding on to P3. Now, though, McWhorter going to feel some pressure from Exenball, maybe thinking, okay, I need to get this move done before those racers farther up the road start to drive away, and the opportunity to jump up there is just going to fall out of my hands. So keep an eye on those racers battling for the final 3 spots inside the top 5 as Wesley Napier keeps getting abducted by a UFO. He's running in 9th at the moment, briefly dropped down to 14th, but that's just connection issues wreaking havoc once again.
The entirety of the top 8 are really pulling away from the rest of the field. The first car that's trying to catch up to them is in 9th, Wesley Napier. Got to give him some credit. Doing a great job in the NK Racing machine, Toyota Supra, trying to keep going forward. Give that 95 some credit as you're looking at that front group of 8, and then there's Wesley right there, going right on by. He just hit the wall actually a little bit. Now Winslow's trying to come back and gain his spots he may have lost early on. Oh, Andrew Dyson lost packet, lost again. He's out again, and he just came back. I think he's going to be long gone. I don't think he's going to be able to come back from that. I hope he does, but it's going to be hard.
Yeah, no, even though I've seen Stranger Things, not the Netflix show, don't get your hopes up, I don't believe he'd be able to even bounce back to even be on the lead lap after a connection issue that long. It's a shame, though, because it looked like he had a really strong race car, but in the same way that in real life mechanical issues can go down, here in the sim technical issues like that or some sort of hardware failure can take place. Either way, though, we'll probably see him at form soon.
Yeah, Hicksonball and Coffee. Coffee just put a lot of air on the back bumper of Hicksonball, got him loose, moved him up the track, and now he is trying to go on by. Alex Coffee now moves up an extra spot there from 5th. Take a look on the exit of turn number 2, folks. You can see that 54. He's going to get on the gas in the center of the corner. He's going to load the air right on the back bumper. That 63 drives it up high, hits the wall, and that will open the door for Coffee to drive his way on through. Hoytsma just got moved out of the way for P2. Nolan Hodgson moves his way up to 2nd place as well. So Nolan just going forward, trying to catch up to Jacob Quill, who has now cleared almost a 3/4 of a second lead over 2nd place.
Yeah, Quill has checked out. The rest of your podium runners are still kind of clear away from this train of cars that we have of McWhorter, Coffee, Truel, Wiles, Hicksonball, but they're starting to fall off as well. Gotta wonder how long it'll be until those racers either just completely develop an island of their own or whether or not they do fall into this fight. But with another move attempted there, Coffee and McWhorter now running in P5, Coffee up to 4th. I don't think that they're going to be able to have the time to catch up those drivers. The more you go side by side, the more you're just going to slow yourself down.
Yeah, that's just a group of 5 cars right there, right in front of them. 3rd place is really scooted out. That's Hoytsma. 2nd, Nolan Hodgson, just a few car lengths in front of him, trying to chase down our leader, Jacob Quill. That is the top 3. You see the rest of the top runners there on your screen, all the way back to 8th. 9th is Winslow, who's trying to recover from his backwards pedal early on. And sitting in 10th, Seth Foudy. First time we've seen him all day up in the top 10. He's trying to chase down Winslow for 9th.
And although the battles up towards the top half of the field have been the most fascinating and exciting thus far, they're going on throughout this field, Kirk. Now
whoa, contact, they're wrecking on the backstretch. Wesley Napier got spun out by Jonathan Delaney on the back straightaway. Blown motor, and Wesley Napier is done for the day. I think there may have been some contact after a wall hit from the 95. We're going to check and watch it live. Here we go. 95. Yeah, he didn't hit it hard at all. 6 car just hit him in the wrong spot and sent him right on down. What do you think, Ron?
Yeah, certainly nothing intentional, obviously, in the case of the driver of the number 6 car of Delaney. That's just the classic deal here. You know, a driver in front of you gets a little bit sideways, and there's really nothing that he can do there. And looks like Delaney may have already had a little bit of damage. I'm not sure if it was just the positioning that he was there on the other inside, but it just looked like that wheel was a little bit askew. I don't know. It didn't look like a hard enough hit to damage that car, so maybe something going on beforehand caused that. But either way, really nothing intentional. That's just the classic sort of Rockingham deal.
I do feel bad for Napier. He was having a good run today. He had a fast car from what we could see. Unfortunately, taken out a little too soon. Jeremy B. Brown is on the cusp of trying to get to the top 10 spot. He's right now 11th, about a second back from 10th place. But the battles you see on the screen are, again, up here in the top 7. But what I can say is those guys are really single-filed out. And the real battles that I'm seeing on the track are actually just sitting right around the outside of the top 15. Right now you see Mason Lowry in the 41 there trying to make a pass on the inside of Jared Grodzicki, trying to go on the outside line. These guys also battle pretty hard. You know, we focus on the front all the time, but I like to go to the back and see how drivers are doing. For example, one of the drivers who we saw up front early on and then had connection issues and now currently is sitting 9 laps down. Dyson is currently cutting his way through this field. And I don't know how many laps he can get back, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, and see, how long will it be until another connection issue goes down? Because it seems to be too much of a common occurrence. I can't knock it down to just being 2 one-offs and that happens once again. Yeah, we'll see, but either way, 9 laps in. That's a pretty tough, that's a pretty high mountain to try and climb up between now and the end of this race. Just saw a move attempted there from Hicksonball and Truel. Truel, a driver that I'm keeping my eyes on as we get into the Dash for Cash rounds. He was very impressive in this stanza of the season last time out, so keep an eye on him as he's got Seth Foudy all over the inside of him.
Yeah, he's going to be right on his door. He's pressuring him. That's going to bring Winslow right up to the back bumper of these guys. Oh, whoa, 77 pushing him up as high as he can go, I guess. He's trying to race him clean and hard, I guess. 77, 71, and you see that 59 right behind him trying to wait for the right time to strike. Down the back straightaway, still side by side. Again, this is for the 8th place spot. Foudy wants it, and Truel got it right now. We'll see what happens. Man, off that corner, they're still side by side.
Yeah, Foudy not giving up at all. The 71 of Truel not able to force him into giving up either. He's been very courteous with that car on the inside of him, but hasn't had the run heading out of these turns to fully clear him. I think he finally gets the opportunity to, heading down the backstretch, and now the 59 gonna pass here. Jesse Winslow looking to get this move done to jump his way up into 9th. The Canadian behind the wheel, that effort sweeps around the outside through 3 and 4 to get that spot.
Well, folks, I gotta go ahead and mention it. Nolan Hodgson, our second. Oh, look out right here. Sorry, that looked really close there with that white car, Winslow. Winslow saved his tires early, let these guys pass, burn their stuff up, and now that that's happened, he's gaining all of his spots back, just like that. But up front, I do gotta mention what I was trying to say was Nolan Hodgson is actually catching Jacob Quill right now. He's got the car, he's pushing it in the right way. And we got just under 25 laps to go left here in the stage. And he has a chance to go for this lead in the stage win, try and take away some extra points for everybody.
And I don't think he's catching him. I think he caught him. 0.2 of a second now, the margin between Hodgson and Quill. Hodgson going to look to try and get this move done. How much is he going to fight for a stage victory? For Hodgson, that could be some very important points. 10 stage points, that could be massive for the driver of the number 12. So keep an eye on these two as they head their way off through turns number 3 and 4. And if they start to battle, we got to look in third. The number 97 car of Lucas Hoytsma. He may get involved in this battle if these drivers start throwing too many bare-knuckle fists at each other. We've seen it already play out here in this race, Kirk. Drivers battling, and it occasionally just causing more and more drivers to get involved in the battle, and the fight starts to snowball from there. So keep an eye on Hoytsma. He may get involved in this in the not-too-far-off future.
Yeah, side-by-side driving right now at this track is not going to be anywhere near beneficial for your speed. So Hoytsma has a definite chance if these two get these top two get side-by-side. That opens the door quite a bit. Now, looking at the rest of the cars on the track, there's kind of this giant little stack up that's starting to develop behind the 71 of Hunter Truel. He's got 3 cars right on his tail, all very close to each other. Again, that's Delaney, Kluot, and Jeremy B. Brown. You know, it's always dangerous when that happens, but the 71's running a slightly different line here and there, and that stack up can sometimes bring calamity, so keep an eye on that. As, again, that 41 I was mentioning earlier, who's multiple laps down, is now all over the back bumper of the quarter passing cars on the fresh tires, and it's kind of entertaining to watch. He looks like he's on, a different planet.
Yes, I'm not sure if there's some sort of Zeeworldy Glorb or Bogo's Binted sort of strategy going on here right now. Said that on the air as well. Fascinating to see some otherworldly strategies attempted. Doesn't matter what kind of racing discipline it is. Look at this pack, though. That's some classic Rockingham racing. Drivers running all the way up to the wall, midway through the turn, trying to diamond it out. That's Jeremy B. Brown and Hunter Truel going side by side, along with the 14 and play Kluot on the inside of Jonathan Delaney.
Yeah, I told you that battle was going to get bad. I saw it from a mile away. Now we're 2 by 2. These guys are just, some guys are faster, and they're kind of getting held up right now. Cars taking different lines. I saw the 14 go almost all the way up to the wall that time. Jeremy B. Brown gets by the 71. Now here comes the 6 car Delaney trying to make the bottom line work. And behind them, they're still hard battling. You also see Bryce Reiner coming up in there trying to battle as well in the 5 car. New paint scheme for him this week in that 5, actually. It looks kind of cool. I like it.
Yeah, I do like that paint scheme. It's rather nice. You know, There's a reason why a lot of race cars are painted white, black, and red. It's just a color scheme that is done very, very well. Not sure what the source of the smoke was heading off through turn number 3 and 4. Very low cloud cover, drivers crashing, whatever the deal may have been, a lot of smoke heading off through the turn, but it has now cleared these drivers. Now seeing the end of this stage come about, taking a quick look at the conditions right now, pretty perfect for racing, which may be a benefit for these racers. That could be the reason why, even on this new track surface, these racers have been rather adventurous and quite bold in terms of the moves they've attempted on one another.
Oh, take a look at this. Winslow and also Hicksonball. This is the battle I'm seeing on the screen right here. Trying to go to the inside. The Canadians moving up again. He's waited at the very beginning, saving his stuff, and the moment that the other car started having struggles with their tires, he has just been on rails. Faster than everybody around him because he took care of his stuff. The other cars didn't do as good a job, so now Winslow is able to pass them. And
yeah,
now Delaney. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but Delaney goes down to the inside of Jeremy B. Brown again, just a few cars behind.
Yeah, I was going to say, tire management, I think we've already seen, is going to be huge throughout this race, especially in that final stage, that final 130-lap run through to the checkered flag. That's going to feel like a marathon, and with the 4 tire sets allotted to these racers as well. It's going to be something that I have to keep track on all throughout this race, which is not ideal for these racers to have to think about tire management while also battling with their competitors, and also just trying to keep it smooth around this racetrack and keep it out of the fence.
Yeah, I'm noticing, you see this battle, something's going on with Hicksonball. Hicksonball is going the wrong way. That 63 car is just not handling right. You see, he's fighting the wheel in the middle of the corner, and so that is something that is concerning. We'll see if he's able to get the car fixed when he comes down pit road here in just a handful of laps when we get to stage. Look out, the 14-car Kluot got very sideways there. Lost a couple spots doing that.
Now that we're at the end of this stage, Kirk, I'm starting to see the handling of these cars go from pretty all right to it could be a lot better to they're driving around with the same wheels as like a 1910s oxen cart. This is getting worrisome for these drivers. Oh, as that's the 82.
82 car on the bottom of the racetrack. Brandon Hunsinger gets sideways. No caution. We keep it green.
The 92 of Brandon Hunsinger we're seeing right there as well. A 9 and an 8 look kind of similar when a car is sliding down the track in a cloud of tire smoke. Trust me, folks. Actually, that's a complete white lie. It's just my eyes don't really work good as eyes. A very easy moment to have happen, though, heading down the back straightaway. Another driver losing it on the exit of the turns at the Rock. Where have I seen that before?
Yeah, we're starting to get to the part of the run where the cars, if you didn't take care of your stuff, are going to be a nightmare to handle. We still already have the battle for the lead is kind of actually stretched out a little bit. There was an issue whenever the 41 got by Nolan and Jacob Quill. It kind of created a little bit more of a gap. This time by, though, when they crossed that line, a little bit more ground gained up by Hodgson, but not much. So that lead, this battle for the stage win, ending here in about 7 laps, is going to probably heat up, but I don't know if it's going to... Car up in the outside wall again. Brandon Hunsinger is just an absolute weapon out there right now. He's gotten up in the outside wall a few times in a row.
Yeah, you could just see that car. And really nothing that he's doing behind the wheel. It just looks like a trash bag full of mango pulp sliding down a flight of stairs. It is really not looking good out there. Taking a quick look in a moment here with Jeremy B. Brown heading his way off through turns number 1 and 2. He's got the 77 of Seth Foudy running in front of the 14 of Blake Kluov right behind, and there was a contact. Oh, and he's going to slide. I was wondering why he was all the way down in P19, now P20. That's part of the reason why. I can imagine there was pretty major damage on that car.
Yeah, I'm just happy he saved the car. That's #1 priority right there. Keep the car straight, save it. Oh, 71, a Truel just got really loose. Almost went down into the grass. He's going to lose a lot of spots himself. The cars are just starting to lose the handle on on their ability to drive the car. They're starting to lose the handle. And we might just see something happen in the next few laps. I'm getting real worried about it. Very unique track here at the Rockingham, you know, on the front stretch, and it just looks oddly shaped, and I think that had something to do with it there. Delaney's moved up more than I've expected. Also, the 88, Daniel Wiles, give him credit. Oh, up front, Jacob Quill and Nolan Hodgson. Guess what? For the lead, it is going to be nose to tail right now. He's battling right now, right on the back bumper of the leader. This is coming to the stage end here on lap 60. They're catching a lap car. That's the 35. He's not getting out of the way. That's going to hold him up. Now, there he goes. He gets out of the way off the corner.
You may have had some assistance there thanks to the front bumper of the 91, but now the 12's going to feel the worry too. He has to go a little bit wide off through 3 and 4, still within spitting distance of Quill. 0.2 of a second the margin as they come across the stripe to start lap 57. Is Hodgson going to risk it for the biscuit? Is he going to try and get this move done, Kirk?
I think he might. You heard the Jaws theme coming. You also see right here, Daniel Wiles going for 4th. Look at that 88 car. He's got some speed on the long run. Like seeing that. Cool to watch. And rookie in the 88 car showing he can compete, but for the lead, here he goes to the bottom. Nolan Hodgson got a nose down there. To the bottom. They're going to be side by side coming to get 3 laps to go on the stage. And it looks like Nolan's going to dive it in deep on the bottom. The leader, Jacob Quill, sliding up the hill. Leader no more. Here comes Nolan Hodgson to take the lead off turn 2.
And Hodgson seizing the opportunity. A stage win for him is going to make a world of difference. I think he's going to be very happy if he can bag those points. So have a lot of lap traffic up in front. The tough nut to crack, the number 2 car right up in front. Very tricky to deal with the lap traffic. We've already seen that be proven in this battle for the race lead just a matter of a handful of moments ago.
Lap and a half to go as they head down the back straightaway, coming to get one more lap to go on the stage when they cross the stripe. But he's got a bunch of lap traffic up ahead. Look out, the 22 and the 23. The Wallen, and you also got the 22 car there trying to, you know, run away from him. That's Jacob Simpson trying to stay on the lead lap, running P30 right now. 23 is, oh man, it looks like he's not going to be able to stay on the lead lap. This is the final lap of the stage. Look out, here comes the 91. He's got to run down the back. He's going to get to the back bumper. He gives him a shot. He goes up into the corner, puts the 22 up into the wall. That does not help anybody, not even himself. 12 car, Nolan Hodgson comes to the line and wins the stage after the 91 pushes a lap car up and out of the way after attempting to move the 12 via a bumper.
And I'm sure the 22 is going to be rather irate about that, and I think he has every right to do so. That was definitely a bit touch and go as they headed their way off into 3 and 4. Jacob Quill may get slapped on the wrist by race control. He still finishes second in the stage. Hodgson gets the stage win over Quill, over Coffey. Daniel Wiles and Lucas Hoythman complete your top 5 with Jonathan Delaney, Bryce Reiner, Joseph McCorder, Jesse Winslow, and Bryson Hicksonball completing your top 10. Also heard that Blake Kluot briefly got abducted by a UFO, but he's back.
Well, folks, you saw that there live. I think we need to see it again. Let's see if we can't pull up a replay of that last lap will show us a lot. Heading into turn 1 and 2, that 91 got a heck of a run on the back bumper of the 12. We're going to watch this right here. This is the battle for the stage. Here we go. You see the 91. This is coming into turns 3 and 4, coming with 1 lap to go when they cross the stripe. So we're coming to 1 to go. Here we go. Through that line. 12 car has a huge lead, a huge gap. Nothing out of the way. 23 car of Llewellyn got out of the way, but that caused the 91 to go higher, and he's going to have this cool arc, and it's going to give him a huge run because the 12 has to lift for the 22 there. 91 goes straight. He's got to run, and now he has a chance. He gets him a shot. Does not move the 12, only hurts the 22. Not quite enough room, and the 12 car has a stable race car to handle that push and not get loose. That's a really good driving car right there for the 12. As they head down for pit stops, you can see the 12 gets into the stall first. We'll see who gets off pit road first as well. Remember, only 4 tire sets today. This will be the first of 4 for most of these drivers.
Yeah, and it will be a welcome change of tires as well. The handling we saw was starting to fall off a cliff. It's very close on pit exit there. The 91 nearly got the 12 of Hodgson. It was close on pit exit, but the 12 got the nose out ahead. So they're still got to be your top 2. I'm still wondering what may come out of that moment with the 91 there. Certainly aggressive stuff. We'll have to see. That was definitely... You could tell that both of those drivers were desperate for a stage win.
Nolan Hodgson, you just won the stage. Kirk Mills in the booth, you got a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, how's the car driving? It's the first time seeing you in Friday Night Lights. I like the paint scheme this week. Tell us how your day's going so far.
I mean, I tell you what, it's good NASCAR race, and I mean, we're slipping and sliding out here. Track's hot. It's the perfect, idyllic way to put on a NASCAR race here.
Oh, I'm happy for you there, Nolan. And you got any, what are you going to do for the rest of the race? I know you doubled up for the restart. Just one last answer before you go.
Well, I mean, you know, hopefully try to keep doing what I am doing. Car has plenty of pace for some good deals here. I'm just going to try to stay out of the way, or not stay out of the way, but, you know, stay out of other people's fenders and just have a good, clean race here.
All right, pal. We look forward to watching you. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Nolan Hodgson just won the stage. He comes up and chats with us for a quick moment. But here we go through turns 3 and 4 to get stage number 2 underway. Pace car is going to go ahead and do a little dive that they like to do down into the pit road. They don't like leading all day. They like seeing racing going on. Here comes the 12 through the restart zone. Anytime he can hit that gas, he sure does. Not a bad jump for the 12, but the 91 gets a great restart as well.
Keep an eye on the 54 of Alex Coffey, looking to try and rattle that 91's cage on the inside off through turn number 1 and 2. Gotta still keep it tight on the entrance of 3. Finally backs out at the 91. Gotta try and rip it on the high side, but keep an eye on Lucas Hoytsma. Drop down to 4th to get this second stage up and rolling. He's got look to be in the thick of it as the 91 got up into the fence out of 4.
Whoa, contact. The Hoytsma car got up into the outside of Jacob Quill. Jacob Quill saves the race car. Delaney's loose off turn 2, goes below the apron in the middle of the corner, loses multiple positions, keeps dropping back as the top 5-6 cars now have scooted away, and 7th on back are battling side by side after contact.
Oh, look at this stack up. The 6 of Delaney getting finished off there by the 5. Very lucky to hold on to it. He should be counting his lucky stars and probably consider purchasing a lottery ticket.
Oh, on the back straightaway, the 42's loose. He's wrecking. He collects the 08 into turn number 3 and 4. Look out on the racetrack. Big one in turn number 3. 8, 9 cars all sliding around everywhere. Kevin Zosiak's among them. More cars, the 35 of Mesnard. You also got the 08 of Drew Prohl, Brandon Huntsinger, Jarek Grodzicki, Jesse Winslow, the Canadian, and more cars all crash in turn number 3 live on the restart. Take a look and see what happened here, folks. Yeah, he got loose. He got up into the outside wall on the exit of turn number 2, came down into I believe that is the 42 of Lowry, and behind them, Calamity. But I'd like to go on board with that car we're looking at right now. That's Jeremy B. Brown. Let's go on board with his view, because he just found his way through a hornet's nest. See the car dive down in front of him. They go low. More cars are wrecking up ahead, and he has to... Oh my gosh! Moses went straight through the middle. What a drive. What luck. But again, you see the 30 car hit the wall, go down, collect the 08. Hopefully that... Oh, man, I hate seeing that. It's so unfortunate for those guys. In honor of the 08, though, they got that lizard on the hood.
Lizard.
There you go.
Yeah, so in the same way, that was a miracle to see that car go through. That wouldn't be parting the Red Seas, considering that moment with all those racers. It'd probably be parting of the Brown Seas. No, we're not hearing of any meatball flags that came out of that. Driver certainly with some damage. Yeah, no meatballs coming out of that, which is absolutely shocking. I was just going to say something here real quick, Kirk, as we're under yellow once again on lap 69. Nice. You see that wrecker on the back straightaway on the old pit lane there, right on the other side of that safer barrier? That wrecker driver is going to be looking at incidents hanging out of turn number 2 onto that back straightaway into 3 and 4 in the same manner that a seagull looks at a French fry.
I have no idea what that means there, Ron. I'm trying to understand. Ron, you kill me, man. Some of the things you say. I love it. It's cool. I don't know what it means, but it's cool, Ron. Thanks for sharing. That's awesome. But I'm looking at some of the cars, Ron, that got involved in that wreck. I mean, not that many. Like you said, nobody has meatball. I also don't see that many cars that had too much damage as it is. They got very lucky. Everybody hit each other very slowly. I don't know if that makes sense, Ron.
Yeah, no, I'm getting what you're saying. There really wasn't a speed difference. It was basically just like a game of bumper cars heading their way down in there. There was just like, if you slowed it down a little bit and put like Tchaikovsky or something like that over it, it would look like a ballet performance. Of course, you know, not with synchronized dancing, but a bunch of finely tuned race cars sliding into a barrier and crashing. But there is some beauty to seeing it all as we're about to go back green.
Yeah, their pace car dives off, and we're going to try this again. Nolan Hodgson, Alex Coffey, top 2 through the restart zone, back underway. Now, Alex Coffey tries the outside line. The outside line has not been faring well for those who start on the top. They have been falling back, and it looks like that continues again, side by side for second with Lucas Hoitzma right now.
Now that we're looking to get this race into a groove and get the second stage finally rolling, we're seeing that same level of aggression that we saw as we got through the phases of stage number 1. We didn't see this at the start of the first stage. These drivers now confident enough to start to duke it out. So I think this stage 2 is going to be tackled in a very different way from what those drivers were doing earlier on in the night, which I think is certainly going to help bring the thunder for us to talk about here on the broadcast.
Oh, take a look for the lead right here. Leader's going to be under fire. Here comes Alex Coffey side by side with Nolan Hodgson for the top spot. Coffey's got it. He passes on through, and Alex Coffey goes to the lead for the first time today. Our third lead change that I could tell from the early part of the race to now. That 54 moves out ahead. But remember, guys, tire sets are going to be a real big deal here, and we'll see who saves the most tire the longer the run goes.
Yeah, having the good pace at the start of one of these stages is like holding on to blockbuster stock back in about 2002. A decade later, and you are done for. These drivers may have pace now, but that is going to disappear by the time we get to the end of this. These drivers are going to feel the burn. The tire is going to be worn down to the canvas. They're going to be sawing at that steering wheel like there's absolutely no tomorrow, and they're going to drop down through this running order the same way that a hot air balloon that just got shot at would drop out of the sky.
Wow. Poetry, Ron. But I don't know. I gotta tell you, looking at this top 10, the only driver that really surprised me today, I think out of the entire top 10 group, Seth Foudy. I like seeing it. Top 10 run for that 77 car. No one's trying to gain back the time he lost on Alex Coffey when he got past. Maybe that 12 car can get him back, but maybe saving some tires and then getting him later might be a better idea. I'm not sure. 12 car knows what he's doing, though. He just wants to stay out of trouble. We heard it in his interview. As everybody else has gotten single-filed out for the top 10, it looks like, going all back until even the top 20 now.
Yeah, now everybody probably realizing, okay, I should maybe do a little bit of tire saving before I start to throw bare-knuckle fists here. One thing that is going to help these drivers, though, is the fact that because of that yellow to get this stage up and rolling, you know, we technically gone to stage number 2 at the end of lap 60. We're already on lap 77, and we haven't had a very long green flag run through to this point. Those yellows may be going to help these racers out in some degree. It won't feel too disgustingly horrific as we get to the end. Now, the tires aren't going to be feeling good, don't get me wrong, but they're not going to be feeling like the absolute dog water that they were probably feeling at the end of the last stage.
Great way to describe it. You're seeing on board the outside wall is what you're sitting on, I guess. I didn't mean to say that word, but there you go. You know, one thing I got to mention, some drivers that you normally see up towards the front aren't there right now. You know, we saw Jonathan Delaney earlier in the top 10. He's running 12th right now. He's got a ways to go to get back up to the top 5. I think he can. He's got the car to do it. But under fire for the lead again, man, that 12 car just not giving up. Well, I thought that pass was going to be done for, but no, Alex Coffey is back under fire from the 12. He's not letting him go. 12's now going to have the bottom. He's going to be right on the back bumper. He's giving some air to him. He's going to go up wide, and I think not quite this time, but eventually that 12's car, he's waiting for the right moment, waiting for the right mistake from the 54. Once he does that, he's going to scoot and boogie right on by the inside. Oh, little contact there. Here he goes to the bottom.
Yeah, first comes the boot. Will he try and give it off in a turn number 3 and 4? The 54 running a bad mid-track to try and avoid it, but the 12 just keeping that momentum rolling. I'm liking everything that I'm seeing at Nolan Hodgson. Not only the pace of the car, but the driver behind the wheel has been able to get these moves done, and he looks to get one more contact there with Alex Coffey against that outside wall. That's going to give Hodgson an even better opportunity to clear him there on the inside, and he does it off through turn number 3 and 4. Hodgson up to the lead.
Yeah, new leader again. Man, I love this track. I'm starting to love this place. Why the heck did we ever leave? This is awesome. This is exactly the point I needed to have. You know, some folks don't like Rockingham. I don't know why. I love this dang place. This is cool to watch. Because, I mean, at the beginning of the run, yeah, sure, you got the single file stuff. But the moment you get a long run, moment you get crazy, tires start falling off, cars start doing different things. That's just like what Nolan said in his interview. That's NASCAR racing. That's quintessential NASCAR, and I love it. You shouldn't be able to have a car that drives completely clean. You got to have a car that's on the edge of control and a driver that's able to wrangle it to the lead. That's what I like seeing in NASCAR these days.
Yeah, this is top-tier racing. I always have loved The Rock. One of the first times I ever got the opportunity to cover the racing in this series was at The Rock last season. First time I ever got to cover a race here, and it is an absolute treat. This track puts on some good stuff. This was built back in the day when they didn't build stuff to specifications. One time, like at the UK Rockingham. Kirk, are you aware that there's 2 Rockinghams? There's one down in North Carolina, and there's another one in the English countryside.
I don't care about that other one. I like, you know, fighting America there. Ooh, that's it. I'm looking right now. Bryce Reiner is on the inside of Lucas Hoytman for position. That's going to be a battle for the 5th place spot, and they are door to door. They were leaning on each other last time through turns 1 and 2. Not the 88. There we go. Got the 5 and the 97. Oh, almost cleared up into the 97. And that's going to open the door. Now take a look. Jacob Quill, who was running in the top spot for a lot of the beginning of the first stage, has fallen back to 7th, trying to make up that ground again to try to get back up towards the clean air up front.
Yeah, so with Reiner getting that move done, yes, there is a UK version of Rockingham. Not too, I believe it's around Corby in the UK. And the only reason I know that is because the company that I first started working on broadcast with way back in the day, not going to mention them by name, they do not deserve that level of respect. They aren't too far away from Rockingham in the UK. Hosted IndyCar back in 2001, 2002. And used to host some like British NASCAR, which I believe is to this day is still called ASCAR. Don't ask me why.
It's fine. What? Okay, folks, I got a screenshot. I'm going to ask if we can't put this on a broadcast, but this is, I found the layout for the track in the UK, and it makes me want to vomit.
Square.
No, it makes me want to dang vomit. Like, grody. I mean, weird.
We built
That's
a
fine.
square.
Don't worry about it. I don't like it. Nope. I mean, it's so strange. But let's go back to the race. We got stuff going on. Kluot's under fire from Seth Foudy right here in the set for 9th. Now, whether or not we're going to start seeing Seth Foudy move his way up towards the front, he's been mired back here in 10th place most of the day. But I'd like to see that rookie, you know, somehow grow some extra horsepower on that car and just start moving his way forward. I'm starting to get a gist. I like seeing him, and I think it'd be fun to see what he can do up front. As the battle looks like, let me find, oh, we got a crash on the back straightaway. Matthew Boston Wheeler sitting the wrong direction on the racetrack, stopped. Caution is out for the 3rd time today, I believe. Let's see what happened to the 10 car.
Yeah, 3rd time in this race, 2nd for incident. That started with the 10, maybe actually not. I think they may have been wrecking already. Yes, they were. And piling in there. Oh, I got whiplash just looking at that.
I think the 30 car, William Owens, he was the one behind that first wreck as well. But here is Von Henschel to the inside. He got a nose down there. No, he's still there. No. Oh, no. Luckily, 2 car saves it, but the rest of the folks behind him do not. 30 car killed on the left front tire.
Yeah, unfortunate for the 30. I believe he was the driver that got involved in the first incident there, and Ryan Von Henschel. I think at this point in this season, Von Henschel just needs to piece together a clean run. It has been a rough campaign for him, as there you can see it, the UK Rockingham, which oddly enough has kind of gone in a similar vein to what happened to the Rock here in the US, albeit, this one was just kind of left for dead. That one has been left for dead in the sense that there's just a bunch of abandoned cars parked there. There's a Top Gear episode, the Alfa Romeo Challenge that they filmed around there as well. It's actually a very nice racetrack.
No, Llewellyn just hit the wall going past the leaders on the exit of turn 2 under caution. What? Can we look at that again? Oh, I mean, this is just weird. I mean, 23's up out of the groove. It's normal how you pass cars, and bang! Oh, what is Coffee doing that far up the racetrack? Take a look at where the 54 is. He has to go, even though there was enough room for the car to go on by. Every other car knows that when you got the free pass or the lucky dog or whatever, they got to go on the outside. You're going to stay right on the bottom of the racetrack. 90% of these cars are down low, except for that one. And it's just like, come on, let's go down to the bottom of the racetrack. Let this guy go without hitting the wall. It was going to hit the wall regardless, but still, it's something to keep in mind. Let's try and keep it down on the line, don't you think, Ron?
Yeah, I don't know why Llewellyn was just ripping it as hard as he was on the outside there, just trying to get all the lapping done and dusted, get back on the lead lap as quickly as he could. That's like, gambling your house on how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop. That's kind of pointless.
Something you don't see every day, folks. All right, we're going to get this restart up front again, your top 5. It is Nolan Hodgson, Alex Coffey. You got the 73 of Joseph McCorder. You got the 88 Daniel Wiles sitting there in 4th. Bryce Reiner getting up to 5th place. And out of the entire group of the top 10 so far today, I got to say the biggest mover I'm seeing is Alex Coffey. He started 12th, moved up to 2nd. What a run for him so far to start things off. Here we go from this restart zone, back underway. Top 2 gets single filed out as they are side by side for position behind them for 3rd.
Drivers also swapping sides like they're flipping burgers a little bit farther in the back of the field as here comes McWhorter trying to get a move done on Nolan Hodgson. This could get interesting. Side by side off into turn number 1 and 2. McWhorter on the inside drifts up to the middle ever so slightly, put Hodgson in a pretty rough spot.
Whoa, they're wrecking
behind.
The 5 car got into the inside wall, spinning, crashing right now, not facing the right way. He's right in the middle of traffic, and caution will come out. Bryce Reiner in the 5 car, unfortunately, gets involved in an incident as he was side by side with Alex Coffey. Let's see what happened to him. Oh, the 97 of Hoytsma coming up to the back bumper. Nope. I don't know exactly. That angle was pretty bad because we're looking at the leaders. Let's go back a couple cars and we'll take a look again, this time with the 5 car. He's going to be right there on the inside line. He got Coffey up on the top, 97 of Hoytsma on a 6. And he's going to get squeezed. They're kind of going to converge on each other right here. And he's got squeezed. He hit the apron, came up, hit the 54, and then the 97 got into his back bumper. Lucky to just be a single car incident, but very unfortunate for that 5 car Reiner. He was showing some speed, Ron. He had a good shot.
What that was pretty much was, Kirk, do you know what a Newton's cradle is?
Yes, actually, yeah.
Yeah, imagine if you just got 2 balls from either side of it, left one in the middle, and just kind of like brought them up as high as you could, caused them to crash down in the middle. That's pretty much what we had going on there. We had drivers up at the front who were starting to slow down, having to check up big time with the side-by-side racing, kind of just being a cork in the bottle for the field. And then you had the racers behind rapidly approaching upon the scene. They all converged into one point in time and just kind of spring-loaded from there. It just exploded into a hodgepodge of nonsense.
Yeah. I'll be honest there, Ron. I am surprised that you have the word hodgepodge in your daily vocabulary.
That's why they pay me the big bucks.
Well, we get paid the same, Ron.
See, I get paid in steaks.
And steaks.
Yeah, it's penguin meat.
That's why you get paid the big steaks.
Yeah, there we go.
No wonder I've been getting the small steaks. I'm wondering what's going on, Ron. Yeah, everyone knows how he makes the big bucks here. Okay, that's the truth of the matter.
See, that's why I like producing. Yeah. That's why I love producing. It may be like a mental headache from different mental headache from announcing, different strokes, but yeah, the pay is worth it.
You know, we're gonna get this restart again just to get back to the racing map that we got on hand. Take a look who just entered the top 10. 0-1, Casey Graves. I like seeing that rookie car moving up into the top 10 again. I like seeing it. I want to see more rookies up towards the front. That's always my thing. I'm always an underdog guy. I always root for the guys that aren't normally around that much and trying to get a win. I think that's pretty damn cool. Again, down the back straightaway. We got double fouled up. New leader, Joseph McCorder, got the lead away from Nolan Hodgson when that caution came out. He has chosen the restart on the bottom lane, which is what we've seen all the cars during restarts choose. They choose the bottom. No one has chose the top side yet. Will somebody ever do that? We'll find out. Nolan Hodgson on the top, the 88 of Wiles on the bottom, and also Hicksonball on the top there. We're trying to get to lap 120. Pace car dives into the pit road. We're going to get that restart right now. Here we go, back underway. And remember, these guys are on old tires. They might start sliding. Be ready for it.
Oh, and they're going to slide already. 3 wide racing. Look at that 97 nearly ripping up against the wall. That's nearly going to end in tears at 12, finding himself in the midst of a hornet's nest, stuck on the outside of the 52 of Coffee.
Well, what a heck of a dang save I saw back there in the back of the field. But you can see that 12 car did not get the restart he needed to get towards the front again as the battle for second heats up. Here comes Daniel Wiles on the outside. Alex Coffey goes to the bottom.
And these two going side by side is just going to allow Joseph McCorder to drive off into the sunset. 0.4 of a second, the margin already, but Coffey able to jump his way up into second. Will anybody behind? Will Wiles be able to put on any sort of pressure? No. He's going to crumble to the pressure of Hodgson. Will he be able to hold off Hicksonball? No. He clears him, heading off into turn number 1. We've still got some very quick racers up towards the front of the field. Both drivers on various different points of their tires. They may be the same age, but based off how things have gone so far here, the wear that's been put on those tires, part of me, is probably totally different from one another, hopping from one position to another.
Now let's take a second, take a look here. Battle for that position again. Third place starting to heat up, I believe it is. Hicksonball's got a fast car at 63. He's trying to dive it down to the inside of Nolan. Side by side, down the back straightaway again. This is going to be for the third place spot as Alex Coffey tries chasing down the leader. 63 is going to have a run here on the exit of turn 4. They're going to be even when they hit the line. It's going to be so close I won't be able to call it. I think it was Hodgson. Hodgson has to pull in behind that car there. And the 97 trying to dive it in deep to get to the inside of Nolan, but he cuts the door off.
Ew.
As cars hit into the outside wall in the back, it looks like that's Blake Kluot up against the outside wall.
Yeah, the number 14 smacking against the fence. That turn 2 wall has been visited more often than not, and I feel like nothing's really going to change between now and the end of this race. It's still going to be quite the tourist trap for these drivers side by side. 71, 88, now the 88 of Wiles dropping down firmly into 8th, and maybe feeling some pressure from Seth Foudy to drop his way down into 9th. We're seeing different pace fold here in these cars at 12 with a huge sideways snap and an awkward bounce against that safer barrier too.
Yeah, that's going to be a big damage in terms of the suspension. This isn't the next-gen car. You can't do that as much as you'd like. You absolutely can. It's going to be some sort of wheel damage for the 12. It's not going to be a meatball, but it will be something that's going to affect his driving. Right there, that's a worse place you could hit the wall because it switches back to concrete. It's really bad. Battle for second, though. Hicksonball's going for second place right now live on your screen. Here he goes to the inside of Alex Coffey for the lead. He's going to get, for second place rather, he's going to get the job done, and now he has to try and chase down McCorder for the lead. It's gotten darker, hasn't it, Ron?
Yeah, it is getting a little bit darker. I think that may just be a little bit of cloud cover here at the Rock. It is a beautiful day in Sin, though. Actually, taking a look right now,
Wow.
104 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're running quite all right. 341
71.
in the afternoon.
Sorry, Truel, I think he's on fresh tires. 71-100 Truel, he's going for second place. He passed second place. Now he's going to be on the back bumper to leader, and he's going to try and take the lead. I think he's going to do it, and I think also there's more who came down and took tires. Can we put up the stints real quick on their screen for a quick moment? Stints will tell us all we need to know. You can see it right there. Yep, the 16 Truel got up and with fresh tires, and he's passed every one of these guys and taken the lead away.
Yeah, and some of the yellows in the pit stops during them playing us like fiddles here in the broadcast
Whoa!
booth. Hey,
Sorry, the 6 car just driving like crazy trying to save the car. I like seeing it. Battled for second now, McWhorter and Hicksonball side by side. These guys are going to be going for the points lead. Remember, they are separated by 3 points going into the race today. These guys need these points if they want to try and go for a championship. And it's a really big benefit to win the regular season's points championship now. So every point does matter. Every position is going to be a big deal, especially here in the stage. We got around 11 laps to go here before the end of this thing. 10 laps to go, rather.
Yeah, so the time's running out. These drivers looking for vital and desperate points as here comes the 6 of Jonathan Delaney. He's going to stick his nose into it. A driver that usually doesn't run for points here in this series, looking just to try and have some fun and go for some trophies here tonight. Hicksonball going to try and maybe think about going for a move on him into turn number 1. No, he backs out of it. He thinks better of it. Hunter Truel looking to drive away with those fresher tires as the fighting behind is still intense.
Yeah, the battle for second is really what's just happened now. With the 71 with fresh tires, it's no contest for the lead of this thing. Unless the 6, I mean, 6 is running lap times that are pretty dang quick. He might be able to actually catch the 71. I'm not sure if the 6 came down and got tires at the same time and there's a glitch in the system, but he's got more speed than the cars around him did this entire time. And it just feels unnatural for that 6 car to be as fast as he is. He had to have come down pit road at some point.
Yeah, either a glitch in the system, a glitch in the matrix, whatever it may be. And good point brought up by Howie in the production truck. Only 3 tire changes available, so Hunter Truel is not going to be able to pit 4 tires come time for the end of the 3rd stage, which is going to make his car drive very similar to what Eric Wineland's car is driving like right now. Just saw that number 21 Drafty Car 2 car nearly get a fantastic view of the cars right behind him as he nearly looped it out of 2.
One thing you got to pay attention to, I think, Ron, is the cars that are choosing to come down pit road and do this strategy. He's not trying to win the... Oh, man, Hoyt's hit the wall pretty dang hard that time, but I don't think he's trying to win the race. I think he's trying to win the stage. And the stage is 10 extra bonus points. I mean, like, that's awesome. Take it. Take what you can get, and that's going to be all you really want to do these days. Because if you can get it, then, you know, you could turn a 20th place finish into a 10th place finish with the points, the way it works out. So, it's not bad.
Yeah, so this is going to be kind of an odd thing for Hunter Truel. It's a double-edged sword because he can get the good stage points here, but that may hurt him out in terms of overall finishing as we get towards the end here.
Leader hit the wall on the exit of turn 4. That brought in Delaney. Delaney's catching up to the 71 car, and he's just going to hang on for 4 more laps, 3.5 more laps now. You'll see off the corner of turn number 4, that 71, he's going to get up into the outside wall right there, and that's what brought the 6 car up.
And every single time we see a driver end up running into troubles into turn number 4, we saw this last season as well. It's really just a consistent feature every single time there's a race at the Rock. This track was not built to modern standards in the sense that, you know, the track design was done with a protractor. It was done with a guy who was probably about 5 beers in and a pen on a piece of paper saying, you know what, that'll do with this plot of land we have, which is the reason why the walls are a little bit janky.
Makes the track unique. You don't see it anywhere else. Coming down to get lap and a half to go for the leader, the 71 down the back straightaway. Heading into turns 3 and 4, he's going to be trying to win the stage. His last stage winner, Nolan Hodgson, just dropped out of the points outside of 11th place, even further back to 12th. Leader comes to the line, gets one more lap in the stage to go. That, again, is Hunter Truel taking a pit strategy, coming down to take 4 tires. He is going to be able to hang on to this lead comfortably, coming through turns 1 and 2. No pressure, nothing going on down the back straightaway for the final time before the end of the stage. And the 71 through turns 3 and 4 will come to the line, and he will go ahead and win stage number 2 here at Rockingham.
Oh, that was a close finish, a little bit farther behind those racers. Even farther in the back, those drivers gave us a thunderous end to what was a quite hectic second stage.
Take a look at your finishing results for stage number 2 on your screen now. Hunter Truel, Jonathan Delaney, Bryson Hicksonball, Joseph McWhorter, Alex Coffey, Daniel Wiles, Seth Foudy getting 7th, and you got Lucas Hoitzma getting 8th, dropping back a little bit. Eric Wineland 9th, and Casey Graves top 10. See who's not there? Nolan Hodgson fell outside the top 10. That's going to keep in mind because he won the first stage. Did not work out this second stage. Might want to go back on some adjustments he may have made. Let's see if we can't talk to our stage winner after the pit stops. They're going to come down. I don't think the 71's coming down at all. So we could actually just go ahead and bring him in here in a second. Let's see if I can't find him. Where is he at? 71. There he is. He's on his own. Sitting on his own in True War Motor Club. Oh, is he coming down? Yeah, he's actually going on pit road. We're going to hold off. We're going to hold off on bringing him in just now because he's going down pit road.
And I gotta wonder what sort of strategy he's gonna have to do at the end. You won't really have any kind of wiggle room at all. You're locked and rigid in terms of what sort of stuff that he can do come time for the end of this, which is maybe not the best position to be in here at the Rock, but certainly feeling good about his performance at the end of the stage as we see the drivers trundle their way down pit lane. Up on the jacks they're going to go. Now, Kirk, I'm going to raise a quick question here. Do you think anyone's going to try and go for 2 tires?
No, he went fuel only. The 71 only came down for fuel only. But that's actually kind of smart because he was the only car out there on his strategy. So if he stays out, it doesn't help him at all. But if he comes down pit road and he only gets fuel, he can make it the same distance as these other guys and still have the lead, but with slightly older tires. We're going to bring him in here shortly, and we'll see if we can't talk to him for a quick moment. Hang on just one second. I'm going to go ahead and move him up here to the Infield Care Center. And I'll bring him up here to the booth. Let's see how he feels about that one. Hunter Truel with some strategy. You got yourself a stage win. You got a copy?
Yeah, I had to do something. I didn't have the best car right now. So I need points. And hey, what better way to get points than to waste a set of tires?
Well, all right, Hunter. You got a plan on how you're going to be able to come back from that in the last stage here before we go green?
Let's just hope there's a caution at a point where I pit and everyone else pits for the last set, and then I'm just on the same tire strategy at that point. That's really the only thing I can hope for.
Okay, perfectly timed caution, man. Thanks so much for coming and talking with us, and congrats on the stage win.
Thank you.
Yep, you got it. Well, that's a 71. Hunter Truel gets the job done on the stage. He's trying something different. He said he knew that the car wasn't fast enough to beat some of these guys, so he had to go for something to get some points, and I can relate to that. I understand how that is. Yeah, I would have done probably the same dang thing. Pace car going through turns 3 and 4, though. You look at that on the outside. Jonathan Delaney, he's going to possibly have the lead here if he gets a good jump. 71 on the bottom. He's on slightly older tires, folks. Keep an eye on the tire spin through the restart zone. And we are back underway. 71's got it. He's trying to scoot away now.
Look at the 6, Delaney. He's out here trophy hunting, and you can tell he's got to try and get this move done and get it done early. He's got his 2 main rivals here in this event right behind him. That's Hicksonball and McWhorter. They're trying to contend for that championship points lead. So they've got something to fight for here. Meanwhile, that 71
Whoa, 3 wide.
Down.
Yeah, sorry, the 88 of Wiles almost went 3 wide. There's just a wild battle behind the 71. He's 3 wide now, heading off of turn number 2. Look out, guys. Hang on to the cars. The folks are just tiptoeing right now.
Yeah, but they're certainly not tiptoeing through the tulips. Tried that 1 second time. Delaney, though, holding on to that race lead, not able to pull away from Joseph McWhorter. Only 0.3 of a second. The gap at the line between those racers and continues to fluctuate. McWhorter may try and get a move done here soon because he knows the competition right behind him. You've got the likes of Alex Coffey, Bryson Exball, and Seth Foudy. That 77 car of Foudy hasn't had race leading speed here, but he's had really solid runs. I think that 77 has been a under the radar driver week in and week out.
And remember the guy who just won the stage, he is on older tires and he's already dropped back almost outside the top 15 and continues to fall back. He is going to have to recover well from that. And our stage 1 winner, guess where he is? He's running even further back, 21st. Nolan Hodgson got a ways to go as we got a side-by-side battle for the lead. Here comes the 73 of McWhorter on the inside of Delaney for the lead. Gets it done easily. Heads into turn 1 and 2 as the new leader.
And just like that, McWhorter jumps into that top spot, and so begins the game of leapfrog up at the front of the pack. We saw how quickly things kind of fell apart for Hunter Truex. He has just dropped down the field at a rate of knots, currently running in 17th at the moment, not too far. No, only 1 spot in front of Nolan Hodgson, who we saw running troubles a little bit earlier. Will the same happen to Delaney here is the real question, Kirk. If I had to take a guess, I would say potentially.
You're right. Here comes Coffey to the inside, going for second now. And that's going to be an easy pass for the 54. 6 falls back to third. And here comes Casey Graves. Look at this 0-1 car on the outside of Bryson Hicksonball. Man, I like seeing rookies do a little good. They work together. Him and Seth Foudy trying to go through the top 5 now. And both of them make their way through. And now he's trying to get up to the 3rd place back bumper. And I think he's going to go for it. Here he goes to the bottom for 3rd. Casey Graves on a march to the front with Seth Foudy.
Yeah, some bravery being shown by both of these drivers. Casey Graves, he's had an interesting campaign so far here in 2026 as that driver of the 01. He's got to be quick. Seth Foudy, though, currently going side by side with Delaney for 4th. He's going to look to try and get that move fully done and clear him down on the inside into turn number 1. He gets it done. So Casey Graves and Seth Foudy, 2 very intriguing drivers to follow as we tackle the final 120 laps of this race.
Okay, I think I'm starting to see it. 6-car Delaney is saving his tires. He's absolutely started saving his tires. You could tell because look at the line of cars he has right behind him. If we can go back to the 6 just for a quick moment, you'll see this giant line of cars. Every single car behind the 6 is doing exactly what the 6 car is doing. They are so much so that the 2-car Von Hinchel got into the back of Blake Kluot. They're 3 wide down the back straightaway right now. Going into the corner. They're still 3 wide. 2-car, the 59, the 56 up. Let's go back there. We got 3 wide battles going on. Thank you. Here we go. Take a look, okay? I was about to say, like, what the hell? Okay. So that 2-car got contact with Kluot, and he fell all the way back here. Made 3 wide battling going on. Take a look here again. This checkup from all the cars saving tires. And that checkup's what sent the 2-car back. And when that happened, he got sent 3 wide. See Jacob Simpson moving down to the inside. Noah Woods on the top. And that new driver in the 32 car making his first start for this time. He's currently running in the top 15 spot. Aiden Amaro. Not a bad first career start for him. As the battle for second and the lead is starting to change up. You can see Coffey's got the lead right now. McWhorter's closing in, and so is Casey Graves.
As you can see him all over the back there. Contact nearly made between McWhorter and Coffey. These 2 gonna look to try and get this battle done soon because Casey Graves is looming over them quite ominously in 3rd. From there, they don't really have to worry about anybody. The gap between Graves and Seth Foudy is currently sitting at about 1.3 seconds. So these 2 can focus on each other and just have a small little side eye on that 01 machine of Graves. Will McWhorter get this move done, or is he gonna maybe wait just a teeny tiny bit, kind of bide his time, wait before he can get that move fully settled and not have to put too much strain on those tires. It hurts these drivers just a little bit, the fact that the track temperatures, even though that sun is starting to gradually set here, it's not going to set by the time we're done with this race, but it's certainly a heck of a lot lower in the horizon than we started this race off with here today. These competitors still having to worry about some rather hot track temperatures that is not helping the tire management game by any means.
Well, folks, take a look at the 21 car. 21, let's see if we can get a camera on him right now. He just made a pass past to Jonathan Delaney in the 21 car. There we go. He just got past him. This is the car right here you want to keep an eye on. He has not been in the top 10 all day long. He's up to 7th. He's in a position now where he has gone by the 6 car, who multiple cars around. You can see Von Hinchel and also the 59 car sliding there in the middle of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4. Whoa, hang on a second. That didn't look very pretty. Does it continue? Oh, yeah, big time. Yeah, no, that was bad. Okay. Let's go on board. Oh my, and the 97 of Hoytsma gets collected. I cannot believe what I just saw. Yeah, okay, that tells us the whole picture. Let's go back, entering turn 1 again one more time. That will show us the whole thing. And we want to go from a little closer if we can zoom in, if we have the ability to zoom a little bit. All right, a little bit further back, and now we got the zoom, so that would help us. So right here, take a look at what happens. 2 car gets into the back bumper, the 59 of Winslow. Winslow gets loose, moves up the hill. This is a regular bump and run. 59 does not appreciate it. Doors the 2 car down the back straightaway. 2 gives him plenty of room. 59 decides, you know what, screw it. He turns left, puts the 2 car, both of them go into the wall, and he finishes them off in turns 3 and 4, and collects the 97 of Lucas Hoytsma, who was trying to just pass his way through. Here's on board with the 59, going through turns 3 and 4. Oh, this is the 2 car first. Let's go with the 2, and then we'll do the 59, so we see both onboards. Here's the 2 car, Ron. You go ahead and call this one. Right there was the contact, Ron.
Yeah, sorry, I had my microphone muted. True professionalism right there. But yeah, you can see the initial contact. There was definitely a bit touch and go, but this is even more touch and go right there. And we'll see this as well from the other 59's perspective. He was side by side with the 12. That was maybe the reason why he had to lift out a bit heading off at a turn number 1 and 2. It was definitely, I'm gonna say, a bit of an iffy maneuver from the 2 to try and go for that bump and run in the first place.
Racing. That's racing.
Yeah. I think going for the bump and run, personally, the way that I see it, was kind of like hanging a guy for shoplifting. But then what the 59 does, hang down the back straightaway, was you got that, like, okay, the 2 definitely aggressive there, and then the 59 responding in kind. Really, that is the example of hanging a guy for shoplifting. You know, I'll be honest, Kirk, after what we saw at the end of last week's race, I am tired of touching incidents with the 10-foot pole, so I'm going to thank all of the people tuning into this broadcast here on Maconi Entertainment tonight, and swiftly and abruptly move on before I have anyone threaten to put my head on a spike.
Oh, yeah, I'll touch it. Yeah, I'll tell you right there, folks. You saw it. It was a bump and run going to the corner, but I will admit, I mean, bump and run going for 30th, it's questionable, but it's still a move that's absolutely used. It's a bottom feeder track. The only way you can pass is on the bottom in most cases. Very rarely do you see them go on the top. And we had some folks come down pit road. Cliff Mullins, Hunter Truel came down pit road. You see some more cars down on the pits, but that's not really going to affect much up front. Most of the top 10 are the same. So we're going to get this restart, and it's going to change the way that some things are going to be running here, okay, folks? So again, I'm going to reiterate. You can see the 54 Coffee in the lead. You got McWhorter there in second. You got Casey Graves in third, and Seth Foudy running in fourth. All these guys are on 20-lap old tires. 107 laps to go. Going to get 106 when we go green. And, you know, we'll see how many green flag laps we put on this. This is the first heat cycle that are going on these tires. We might see the 71 and the 44 go through the field. Be ready for it. Restart. We're back underway.
Top 3 single file out as there's still formation flying right behind. These have been the drivers that we were talking about being thunderous in this field, and they're going to be thunderous once again as we get this race back up and rolling side by side between Quill and Foudy. That's the fight for fourth, and look at the 21 trying to stick his nose into that battle too.
Trying to get back underway again. You can see the top four have really single filed out as one car stuck up on the outside. That's Seth Foudy trying to find a hole. He got in one there right behind the 91 of Jacob Quill for fifth place. He now settles in as the 14 car of Kluot is under fire right now with more cars behind him saving their stuff. I still see some cars saving tires here and there. 6 in the 63, who we know are fast, including Nolan Hodgson in the 12, are all really fast guys. They were up front leading this thing for the majority of the beginning of this race, but they have still decided not to turn on the jets this time. They are saving their tires, sticking in the back, waiting for the right moment to strike. And I think that's not a bad decision here. They kind of plan this race out before you get started. Got to have a plan, and right now they're on it, and they're going to stick to it, it looks like, as the side-by-side battle I see on track is between Nolan Hodgson and Jacob Simpson in the 22 and the 12. 22 and the 12. Let's see if we can't get him back there. 22. There we go. Yeah, 22 is going to prevail, but the 12's all over the back bumper trying to get by him.
Yeah, need a little bit of ATVO WD-40 at the moment. Well, we'll stand by with Simpson and Hodgson. Keeping an eye on these two who are still in the thick of it, battling as hard as they can out there on the racetrack. They have the newcomer Aveda Amaro right behind them as well. So Amaro, he's been very impressive in his debut, currently running in lucky spot P13 at the current moment. It's a good drive. I wouldn't want to be in that spot. I'm not the most superstitious man in the world, but the 13 does have some bad juju, at least every single time that I've called it, although maybe it's just me calling drivers out on that so many times that eventually a falling anvil will find itself somewhere. It's like a falling anvil magnet.
If I went back and listened to the first 8 races of the season, I can guarantee I could find like maybe 10 clips of you saying that exact same phrase. I swear I've seen that so many times. I have no idea how you have these all ready to go. It's pretty crazy. Third place,
I don't really know much else.
I could. So what I can say is that the 01 car sitting P3 right now, Casey Graves, most impressive driver in the top 10 I'm seeing so far tonight. Casey Graves is a driver who's not really, racing with any real big teams that I can tell. He's actually an independent, but he's running P3 right now, which is fan-freaking-tastic. I love seeing when independent drivers come out here, do the practice, get the car to feel good, and go out there and try and do really well. And that 01 car is doing that. Sitting P3, got to give him some credit, as Seth Foudy just behind him is now making a move on the 91. Look out, that's for 4th place, side by side on your screen.
Close quarters, side-by-side racing. Oh, I thought they were going to really run in disaster there as they had their way down the backstretch to the 77. Once again, licks the stamp and sends it, but not able to clear him there. So once again, get very close to contact out of 4. These drivers are playing with fire with how worn out their tires are. I'm expecting something maybe to get a bit ugly here. It nearly did as Foudy skated up the road as he tried to send it off into turn number 1 and 2 once more. We're starting to see the handling fall away very quickly on these cars throughout the field.
And one thing you're going to notice the longer that we run, some cars are going to start moving their way towards the front. I'm looking at a certain pack of cars, the one you're looking at on your screen right now. This is exactly the pack I think are going to end up being towards the front if cautions fall their way. Right behind them, though, I can see a new rookie, the 32 car. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Best battle for 4th. You can see the 91 making a pass for that position. He makes the move on the bottom, gets by Casey Graves, and now Casey Graves is going to be under fire from Seth Foudy there. And I think that their early jump passing all those cars is starting to bite them. I think the 77 and the 01, their tires are going to start screaming, and we might not be seeing them up towards the front for long. 88 of Daniel Wiles now dives it into the bottom, trying to pass him.
On 3-wide racing, these drivers, this isn't even playing with fire. This is literally doing jumping jacks in front of a firing squad. They were able to get away with it, though. The 77, the 88, and the 01 still running nose to tail with the 21 and 14 right in tow. Maybe gonna look to try and get a move done on these racers here soon, but they're starting to battle each other. Kluot down the inside of Wineland in their scrap for 7th currently. Keep an eye on these little packs. These drivers have a level of confidence around this track that, frankly, before we got into this, Kirk, I wasn't expecting them to have by any means. I was expecting this one to be a race where these drivers were going to be tense from the drop of the green through to the fall of the checkered, but they have been able to take to this track like ducks to water.
You say so. Able to do that. This single file stuff is going to only last for a handful more laps, folks. I'm starting to think that the transition is happening now. The track is going to start switching up. You got cars hitting the outside wall there. You can see that. Cars are starting to get a little tighter, a little looser, depending on how you set the car up, which tire you're laying on, the rear or the front. You're going to start seeing some folks either get up in the outside wall or start losing the ground because they have to lift earlier, sooner, and then you're going to start seeing the cream rise to the top. And I could say I'm seeing that right now with the 12 car Nolan Hodgson. He's kind of leading the punch there. The 21 car drove his way through to the top 10, for example, early in the stage. And he put on the gas. He didn't lift. He didn't try and relax for any point in time. The 12 car was steady and tried to save his tire. And Blake Kluot's one of those drivers that also drove away. The 01 of, you could also see Casey Grace, who's fallen out the top 5, also catching up to this. And I think that is 100% a decision that was made. They chose to use the tire early, and it's going to be falling off late for those guys as Nolan Hodgson is closed up to the back bumper Wineland. But remember, Eric Wineland is one of the hardest cars to pass in this series. Doesn't matter when you're passing him, whether it be for position or if he's a lap down or if you're a lap down. It's so hard to pass that 21 car. And I got to give him props for that. I like to think of him as the Ryan Newman for the Friday Night Lights series. He's very difficult to pass. And now the 12 car, Hodgson's having to try and figure his way through.
And you know, Ryan Newman did drive a car that had a 2 and a 1 in it, albeit it was in a different order. But I think the point still remains the same. But I think he's a very good driver on these short tracks, and even though he's feeling a lot of pressure right now from Nolan Hodgson in that number 12. He's going to be a driver that I think we need to keep our eyes on next week when the series rocks up to Bristol. He won there last time that we ran at Bristol back in the fall of last year. That was a playoff opener and sent him off back into the round of 8. Thankfully, don't have to talk about that, so we got to talk about the chase. And we don't have to worry about that just yet. We're still in the spring, but we will, I think, have to talk about Wineland being another hard force to be reckoned with come time for the next round of the season in just 1 week's time. But Wineland, even here, is putting on a good performance, currently holding on to 7th at the moment, and looking to drive away from, you're at 1 point leader of Hodgson, who has put on a rather rousing recovery drive.
Yeah, you got to remember, they were saving stuff in the first little bit, so that's why they're coming through now. And the 01, who pushed really hard, he's dropped outside of the top 10. It's unfortunate to see, but he needed a lot of cautions to be able to make that strategy work, and he did not get those. So him and Seth Foudy, both cars, are kind of on a similar strat where they pushed hard early. And now they're side by side for 5th. Look out, lap cars in the way. And they get through it. Foudy's still hanging on to that position. As up front, again, Jacob Quill has gotten by McWhorter at some point there. You can also see Alex Coffey now up to the lead, still leading this thing by a large margin. But Coffey and Quill are your top 2, and they are about a half a second or more separated there. Half a second they're separated there. So let's take a look and see what happened for that pass for second place. Battle for second, you can see, going to the inside. Clean pass, nothing out of the ordinary. Great pass for Jacob Quill today.
Yeah, so some drivers have tried to kill each other. That was just the subplot of drivers having a nice little battle there. Nothing too physical, nothing too ugly going on there. Just a nice clean overtake. Quill jumping his way up into second as side-by-side racing here. This is a little battle that I've been thinking was going to heat up, and heat up it now has. Hodgson and Wineland. This is for 7th and 8th, and these two right behind Blake Kluwat too, but they're feeling more pressure from the drivers behind than they're applying up in front of them. They're still side by side, though. One of these drivers is going to have to back out, but I think neither of them will. Wineland, as you said a few moments ago, Kirk, we know that he's a driver that's always going to fight as hard as he can. Hodgson wants to fight hard. He finally got that move done, and now Delaney going to look to try and blow the both of them off.
What I can say right now is my reiteration. 3 cars are going to make their way towards the front from this point to the end of the race. 12, 6, 63. These guys have been working together, saving tires the entire time, and right now they're just working their way forward. I think they're going to get to the front here soon. Up front, these guys that are in the top group right now, they're kind of using up their tires. They're in a position where they are... Oh, right here, look at this. 6-car Delaney goes up to the outside of the 12. That's for position. You can see that. And now the 6-car is going to try and lead those cars that were saving early on. Oh, look out, Kluwat's got in the wall. Now they have to take evasive maneuver to miss them. Cars saved. And it's going to be 12, 6, 63 if they're able to continue out of turn number 2 that method. I think that's what it's going to look like here shortly.
Yeah, so 79 laps left to go. These racers now feeling the burn, feeling the worry with their tires, and considering when the pit stops may arise for some, everybody's going to try and have a different answer to this. I always talk about this on a lot of the broadcasts that I do that incorporate strategy. It's usually on the road side of things, but you can tell when a race has the vibe of when racers are going to have some alternate strategies. This is one of those where I don't think anybody is going to be unified. Even teammates are probably going to be split as to when may be the right time to come down pit lane.
I'm looking at the cars trying to keep an eye on their speeds, and what I'm noticing is Nolan Hodgson's consistently running lap times that are faster than the leader. Same thing with Delaney and Hicksonball. They're going to all be running lap times that are they're about even now with the leader from lap to lap. And battle there on your screen, the 88 of Wiles, he was running pretty dang fast too. He goes down to the inside, passes the 73. Oh, what happened to... Is that the 91 that was talking on the radio there just for a second? I think he was yelling on the radio about something in that 91 car for a moment there. Quality warning for the 91. Yeah, he's blinking. So quality warning for that car right there. So look out, 91 might have some problems going on with his connectivity.
Yeah, unfortunately, that hamster running on a wheel that makes up his Wi-Fi modem maybe needs a break either for some water or for some snacks. But either way, it's going to come out on the back end. And Jacob Quill currently running in P2. If those don't get sorted, he may be done for. Look at that, though. Last time by a 7-minute and 5/10 of a second lap time. That was fantastic. I messed that up entirely. A 7-second lap time.
Light speed. Yeah, no. I'm looking. Yeah, I like that we have the last lap ticker because that tells us who's going quick. Like I said, 12, 6, 63. Those 3 cars are consistently the fastest cars in the top 10 lap after lap. And I think they're going to move their way to the front. You can see side by side Kluwat. These are the cars. Oh, look out. Contact 21 moves the 22 up the hill. Jacob Simpson might not... Oh, he apologized. 21 on the radio just apologized to the 22, said it was an accidental push. So that's the deal there. As the leader's right now in heavy traffic, look out. He's the middle 3 wide for the lead right now with lap traffic. He got split. That's only going to bring the 91 closer. You can see that definitely did not help him at all.
Yeah, no, that it did not. So some wrenches getting thrown in the works for these racers, and The equation's getting complicated. That is for certain. Keep an eye on these battles, though. They're still going on throughout the pack. This is Foudy, Delaney, Hodgson, and Hixenball all covered in a nice little, neat little group of cars. Foudy and Delaney side by side coming across the stripe into turn number 1. Delaney on the inside. Hodgson's going to look to follow as Foudy in that 77 machine just
Hixenball just barely almost turned Seth Foudy. Seth Foudy saved the race car, but Hixenball did not do it. Did something respectful. I got to give him props for. Take a look at this after the fact. So here's the contact he made. He thought he was going to be there, but 77 was a little lower on the track than the 63 was expecting. That's a racing incident. 63 does not continue to just blow on by him. He waits until the 77's got it gathered up, then he makes the pass. Got to give him some props for that. 6-car Delaney, though. Great save, by the way, for Foudy. Great save. But now he's heated up the tires. It's going to be rough for him. Delaney's now on the back bumper of McWhorter for 3rd. He's going to make that pass cleanly. Fourth place now. 6-car is going to be making that pass pretty simply, quickly. And then you got Nolan Hodgson trying to follow him through. Remember, 6-car got past the 12 just a couple laps ago, and now the 6-car is leading that little group that I was talking about that has the advantage there.
And hearing from Howie on the production truck that drivers on some fresher tires are setting lap times about a full second quicker than these racers that are running on their fossils that are pretty much bolted onto these race cars at this point. That is a massive difference at many racetracks. Here at The Rock, that is, I mean, that sort of pace differential, that can't really be underscored. Heading down the straightaways, it's not huge, but heading through the turns, you could see that. That is pretty much just, I mean, to invoke a little bit of sports car terminology, that's like a prototype blowing the doors off a GT car.
You know, this is a different run than what we've seen in the past. In the past, it was kind of chaotic. They were all trying to race to the end of the stage, and people were all over the place trying to make that work. But now, it's kind of changed a bit. It's not as chaotic as we saw before. The top 3 are starting to close in on each other. You can see Coffey having the lead now, just under a half a tenth. And Daniel Wiles has really done a great job of saving his stuff. Got to give that 88 some credit. He's all over the back bumper for 2nd, and now he's going to be making a move to the inside for 2nd place. The 88, Daniel Wiles made a nose look, but not quite enough. 91 drives it in deep, and they will still stay single file for a short period of time as the 88 still looks to the inside.
Every single time I see these drivers go side by side heading out of the turns, I always get a slight looming sense of anxiety. It's the 88 of Wiles and the 91 of Quill. Close quarter stuff in this battle for the final 2 spots on the podium. One thing I gotta say, Kirk, looking at the racers that are running up towards the front of the field right now, it's names that we don't usually cover running up towards the top. It's Coffey, Quill, and Wiles making up your top 3. Haven't been many occasions, if any at all, where those 3 have been comprising of your top spots.
Well, yeah, now he's side by side with them real nice and good. The 88 there. We talked about the 88 a few times in the last couple of weeks as being a real surprise to the series. One of the best running rookies, definitely in contention for Rookie of the Year. But Delaney has caught them. He's on the outside, makes that pass look easy. Delaney has a car that is way faster than these guys, and he's now going to try and chase down Coffey. I think he's going to pass that 91 into turn number 1 here, and the 6 car will try and chase down that 54 car. Not quite yet. Wow, putting up a good fight for the 91. Oh, he got up into the outside wall after some contact.
Yeah, got a little bit sideways for the 6, and it just bled off into the side of the 91. Keep an eye on those 2. They clear each other, heading out of 4 across the stripe right now. But Daniel Wiles going to sense an opportunity. Not only are these racers checking themselves up a bit, they've got some lap traffic to contend with here as well, Kirk. Now, we've seen so far here in this race, in the past 189 laps, how tough it was to deal with the lap traffic. Got to imagine that's probably exemplified now.
Absolutely, the 6 car catches a lap car there in the 08. Contact with the wall. The 8 car gets in the outside wall, and that slows the 6 car down. A little bit of contact on the front nose of the 6, keeping it going straight Oh my goodness, the 88 car got by for third place as well. He moves up. Yeah, so you can see right there the 6 cars, he's all over the back bumper. He's going to pass him any second now. Same thing with Nolan and Hicksonball. I think they're going to move forward as well, but the 6 car has turned on the jets compared to those other 2. Some argument over the radio from third place. Daniel Wiles, the 91 of Jacob Quill, and lap car 08. 08 got up in the outside wall, and he tried to hold on to it, but here comes the 6 of Delaney to the outside for the lead. He's going to be making that pass any moment now. Right on the top, flies on by. New leader, Jonathan Delaney in the 6 cars. Got it, Bo, contact. It ain't over yet for this lead. The 54 tried to get into him. Not enough to get him loose. 6 car drives away.
Delaney getting the spot. He has to fight for it over Coffee. Now he's going to have to try and keep the 6 honest. If he starts to lose out on more time, we're just going to see things snowball in the wrong direction for that 54 driver. Wiles going to sense an opportunity. He may start to smell blood in the water. Jacob Quill may start to smell blood in the water here too. But one driver that I'm keeping my eyes on for a very good reason, it's that 63 of Bryson Hicksonball. A campaign that has been quick, but hasn't been nearly as dominant as we saw from him at this point last season. Already had a handful of wins in his back pocket by this point in the 2025 calendar. Here in 2026, the wins have been a little bit harder to come by, but Hicksonball's still been quick. He just got moved on over Nolan Hodgson to jump his way up into the final spot inside the top 10. I think Hicksonball going to be a driver we have to talk about come time for the end of this.
He just got by Nolan Hodgson. You saw it on your screen. Hicksonball got by. Now he's up to 4th, and he's trying to catch up to Daniel Wiles, who's now trying to catch up to Coffee. I got to give that, again, 88 has got a car that is fast, and he's been saving some stuff. But Jacob Quill on pit road, Brandon Hunsinger on pit road, and Jeremy Brown. That's the first time we've seen cars go down pit road, and it does matter because you don't want to be the first one down, I don't think, but Jacob Quill's going to make a lot of ground up on these guys during the time that they're waiting on them to come down pit road. Look at this. Wiles down to the inside for second on Alex Coffey. Truhl's coming down in the 71s, coming down this time.
Oh, and I could see as they headed their way through 1 and 2, the glare heading through there, Kirk. That's going to make things even harder, both down pit lane and going side by side out there on the racetrack. These drivers gonna have it on their hands as we get towards the end of this. 53 laps left to go, and those visibility problems probably going to get even worse to the end.
All right. See right here, Bryson is able to make that pass from the 88. Bryson's just got himself a fast car right now. Looking at the way that this is going to go is all dependent on when drivers come down pit road. I'm looking at the corner right now to see who's going to come down and win. I'll let you know when we see it. But I think that 6-car Delaney is going to hold on to the lead until the end of the cycle. Things might switch up at that point. Delaney and Hicksonball really have put on the gas here since the caution, since they had all decided hitting the gas, getting back up to the front, passes up for second.
Yeah, he has been kicking on the Cuisinarts thus far here. This has been fantastic, and a nice charge through the field for Hicksonball. Now we get into an odd situation. Do we root for the man who's, technically a series admin here in the series, usually in race control for full-length Cup Challenge, or do we root for the bushwhacker here?
The 12 Nolan Hodgson's coming down pit road, but you got fans rooting for everybody. You got family members watching, a bunch of people who really want to see their family member win. I could say right now, from what I'm seeing, now is probably a good time. I'm seeing folks hit pit road. Leader just passed. He did not go in. And now the 54 Coffee is coming down. Coffee's coming down.
I think now we're kind of in this hold period, don't you think, Kirk, where these racers, they're now seeing the pit stop start. They're all coming down pit lane in many cases, and the drivers who are out there on the track, I don't think they're bringing their A game. They can't really bring their A game just with how these cars are handling, where in a little hold period at the moment out there on the racetrack. The gap continues to grow between Delaney and Hicksmall. If anything, it's probably plateaued at best to around 3.2 seconds. Look at the difference there as we ride on board with Mason Lowry in the 42. That was the 92 right on the bottom of him. Just making it seem like he is standing still as a 42 getting bullied by the 91 up into the fence. He's going to go.
More cars choosing to come down pit road, though. You're going to constantly see it. Gradzicki's coming down. The 22 of Jacob Simpson just hit pit road. 14 of Kluwat's coming down. You got more and more cars choosing to head on down into the pit road as we speak. The longer we go, the more we should see. But the 6 car had a 3-second lead right now over second place Bryson Hicksonball, and Hicksonball's just not running the same speed he needs to be doing. Here comes Daniel Wiles from third place in the 88. He's on pit road in the 88 car. I don't see anyone else in the top group coming down quite yet, but we're starting to see those cars who did come down just now. Oh my gosh, Alex Coffey just threaded the needle off of turn 4, trying to gain all he can. And Jacob Quill's right now leading the folks that came down pit road, so that Quill is going to be the one to try and beat. But you can see that 54, he had a moment off turn 4. Take a look at this.
A little bit of lap traffic, gonna check him out here, and yay! Oh.
Yep. 42 Mason Lowry on pit road. Casey Graves in the 01 decides to come down, locking up the rears on entry. And we're just going to continue to have this green flag pit cycle here at Rockingham. I love seeing green flag pit cycles. They are fun to watch. And it looks like anybody else wanting to come on down? Not that I can see quite yet. Everybody else still on the racetrack pushing hard.
Yeah, and we're in the danger zone right now, Kirk. I'll be completely honest with you. With cars out there that are running at totally different pace to one another. You got some drivers on new tires that are feeling like $1 million. Other drivers on old tires that are just trying to survive.
71 100 Truel and the 91. They are battling for position eventually what would be for the lead up here. They were leaning on each other. I didn't like the way that looked going off turn 4. They must not be very happy with the way it looks right there. Keep in mind, 71 got through, but he was leaning on the door off of turn number 4. Take a look. Ooh, boy. Gosh, right up on him. Oh, here comes McWhorter now. The 73 McWhorter comes down pit road. So does Noah Woods in the 56. More cars coming down. That leaves maybe 6 more cars that need to come down on pit road, and then we should have a full cycle going through. Quill will probably take over the lead. We'll have to see how it looks. But Delaney, Hicksonball, Mullins, and Foudy are all running long. 6 cars coming down this time. I just got on the radio call out. 6 car Delaney. He's going to come down pit road this time. Let's watch his pit entry right here. That's 6 car Jonathan Delaney. He's on the apron now. He's going down. Yeah. Okay, we can look back here at the 54 then. Let's look at Alex Coffey pass another lap car. Matthew Boston Wheeler. There we go. Let's look at that instead. There we go. Leader on pit road. Gotta say right now, I gotta say, what I can't say is that he's gonna be on pit road, and now he's gonna come out. This is gonna be the important thing. We gotta make sure we see where Jacob Quill's gonna come out in relation to the 6. Once he's back out, we can see the gap that the 6 is gonna have to make up on Quill to be able to actually take the lead back. So where's Quill at? Let's take a look. Let's get on the 90 on Quill real quick. He's going to be the one who's going to inherit the lead when this stuff is all set. Oh no, it looks like Coffey's actually got it now. Coffey just moved up to it.
Yeah, Quill, he's been able to
Yep,
clearly get out in front. He's heading his way off through turn number 3 and 4 right now as Tim Phillips now filing into the pit lane along with the likes of Tanner Marty and more. So it looks like it's going the way of the number 91 of Jacob Quill, still waiting for Cliff Mullins to come down pit lane, but with a 7.5 second gap. That will very quickly be 8 away once that pit stop comes around. Now we got to wonder who's going to have the stuff to get towards the end. 16 laps already for Jacob Quill's stint. Now that doesn't seem like a lot now, but come time for the end of this race here, Kirk, that is going to really feel like a huge disadvantage for Quill.
Take a look here. Cliff Mullins in the 44 cars got the lead on 70-lap old stint tires. He's got that lead spot right now. But he's going to have to, he's the last car who needs to come down. But then you can see Quill, Coffee, and Hodgson. Look at the gaps they have all the way back to Delaney. That's 6+ seconds and 37 laps. It's going to be a tall ask to make that happen, guys.
I don't think there's going to be anybody out there on the racetrack that's going to be feeling super confident about their chances. There's no good feeling to have here at the Rock today, Kirk. It is only the least terrible. You got drivers not really feeling good about their chances. The tires have been feeling, downright in the doldrums. Downright despair has been felt by the Goodyears out there on the racetrack. That's one thing that has remained a constant throughout Rockingham's history. It has always been a cheese grater on the tires. Even with this new racing surface, you gotta manhandle this thing. There's no good line heading through here. You just need to hold on. You need to get the good lap time. It's kind of like Darlington in an odd sense, an old school track in the middle of comparatively nowhere compared to a lot of the racing tracks that we have now in the world. And you gotta manhandle it, and the tires are always a must-have. Nice little comparison between the two that really aren't that far apart from one another.
From what I could see, man, this is going to be kind of wild to find out how this is going to line up, because now the 6 car is on way fresher tires. You got Jacob Quill, 21 lap stint. He has the oldest tires out of anybody in this group. If he's able to hang on to this lead, that would be surprising. You got Coffee right behind him with 6-lap fresher tires, Hodgson with 5-lap fresher tires, and you can see that's the battle we're looking at on your screen right now between Coffee and Hodgson. This will be probably the battle for the eventual win if they're able to hold off Delaney and Wiles, who are just behind them on even fresher tires.
Yeah, defensive masterclass is going to be what decides these drivers' fates. If they can hold on to the spot for dear life, they may be golden. I'm split as to how the defensive games are going to get played here, Kirk. We saw the moves be a little bit hard to come by earlier on, but now that these racers have found the groove, I think it's been a lot easier for drivers to get moves put on one another. Do you think the defensive game will be easier to play for these drivers, or do you think you would rather be on offense come time for the final 30 laps?
I'm going to say right here, I'd say you probably want to be on offense if you are Delaney. If you're Quill, you kind of want to save your stuff. You kind of don't want to use it up early. You want to save a little bit, be willing to lose a little bit of time, but the moment they get to you, that's when you hit the gas, because then you actually have the shot there, but it just depends.
Yeah, I know for some drivers, it's all a matter of comfort out there on the racetrack, folks. And for some, they will always be the ones that enjoy, being on offense come time for the end. They can attack. Some drivers, though, they want to be a bit more calm about the end of this race. They want to defend, hold on to any single spot that they can. I know me personally, I was always a fan of being on offense. I remember going to an indoor go-kart track right outside the city back when I was a kid, and my dad would tell me, hey, remember, it's all about the best lap time that you get. It's not about how many cars you overtake or where you finish compared to everybody else. And I'll tell him, I don't really care about the lap time. I just want to pass people.
Whether or not that's going to happen, we're going to find out here in the next few laps. I do want to keep in mind this battle for second is heating up pretty dang good. There's still nose to tell. I like the way this looks. I think this is going to be something that's going to be the biggest talking point until they catch Quill. Once they catch Quill, that's going to change the way this looks. Maybe Wiles can catch up to the back bumper of these guys. He's got a ways to do it. 27 laps to go. And, oh, he's on the inside now. Here we go. This is a battle for second. Nolan's going for it. To the inside of Coffee. Is he going to be able to make that pass work? Not this time. He's going to have to fall back in. And now you can see that they're going to even have to handle, it's not even clean air for them. They have to deal with other lap cars that are around them, causing the cars to not handle as good as I'm sure they wish that they were. But again, second and third are on your screen. A little further back, Wiles is catching this battle here, and these two are catching the leader, Jacob Quill. They're right in front of the 56 car. You're going to see in that yellow car right in front of them. So it's going to start closing in even more lap after lap.
25 laps left to go. These racers, I am sure, are feeling nervous. Your top three are all converging on one another. Jacob Quill is slowly falling into the crutches of Alex Coffey, who's actively getting tailed by the number 12 of Nolan Hodgson. This is just three drivers converging on the same piece of real estate out there on the track. I said this earlier on when it was Daniel Wiles running in the top three, and I'll say it once more with Hodgson now in that P3 spot. These are drivers that we don't usually get the opportunity to talk about running up towards the front of these fields. So they're going to try and seize the opportunity for Quill, wants to try and get a W for Coffey, wants to try and get a W for Hodgson, wants to get the W. All of these racers in the top three, I think, have a very good shot to get the win, and they're going to look to try and grab onto it with as much vigor and anger as you can imagine.
I'm starting to get I'm getting a feeling. And this feeling is if we stay green, we're going to start seeing Delaney catch, the 77, the 12, the 54. All of these guys are going to converge together, and they're going to be on top of each other in a group pack, and the faster cars will be at the back of that pack, and the cars that have older tires will be at the front of that pack. And it's going to be hard to pass, and I think that that's going to bring a big problem. So Quill, Coffey, Hodgson, Wiles, and Delaney, I think, is going to be the battle we want to keep an eye on.
Yeah, certainly true. We do have a lot of battles sprinkled throughout this field. I mentioned this earlier on, and I'll bring it up now as we get to the final details of this race. These drivers have rather surprised me in terms of the competitiveness of the racing out there. You know, I think I speak for the both of us, Kirk. We weren't really sure what we were going to expect here in this newly repaved version of the Rock, but it has treated us very, very well here as broadcasters, and I'm sure the other people tuning into the broadcast have been able to enjoy it as well.
All right, we got 20 to go. I got to ask you real quick, okay? You're looking at your screen right now. This is going to be the battle for the eventual win of the race. These guys on your screen. Which one do you think is going to be able to pull up ahead and pass all these guys? Or who's going to come out on top based on what we've seen so far and knowing who has the freshest tires with 20 to go? Who's your pick?
See, I'll be honest, I have my money on Hodgson. There's just been something coming through in this race. He says right as he's starting to feel a bit more pressure from Daniel Wiles, but stick with me, folks. I think he has a very good shot to get the W. He was leading earlier on. He has that taste of what clean air looks like. He knows what he needs to do to try and get the max out of his car. And I think he was able to handle the traffic very, very well earlier on as well. The lap traffic will decide the fight. As right as I say that, Delaney gets turned there in the back of shot. I believe that was the lap car that did it too.
Got a little loose. He saves the race car. It is still going straight. Grodzicki got into him a little bit, I think. But the battle for the leads here. That 54 car is caught to the back bumper of the 91. He's going to be there. He's got a couple lap cars in the way. 77 to Seth Fowdy is going to be there. He's going to be a lap car out of the way. But again, you're going to see him catch up, and it's going to be a battle between those two. Seth Fowdy battles the leader harder than I think I've seen any lap car do so far today. Still on the bottom of the racetrack, side by side for that spot. And the 54 just got by the other lap car, moving up to second still. And it's just going to start coming in together, and I'm starting to get a little concerned, man. This is always when I get a little sketched out.
Yeah, it's sketchy times for these drivers. The lap traffic encounters have always been a little bit nerve-wracking for these racers, and certainly as we get into the final 15 laps, you can crank up that level of unease just about 10 or 15 notches from where we were earlier on. So for Quill, he's just terrified running behind the 77. Still has not been able to get the move done as that 54 of Coffey is reeling him in. Tenths of a second being shaved lap after lap. Coffey pretty much right there now. A quarter of a second, the margin between those racers. Have to go further half to find Daniel Wiles, who has been able to get that move done on Nolan Hodgson. So you can take what I said about Hodgson being a driver to keep our eyes on, put that through a shredder, and then throw that shredder into a wood chip or play me like a fiddle. Maybe Wiles could pounce here. We'll have to find out. What's going to decide this race, though, Kirk, is going to be patience. If you can have the patience of a saint and get past this lap traffic, without harming yourself or harming your lap cars and your competitors too much, you could very easily walk out of this race with a W.
Ooh, man, I'm getting excited, man. Here we go. At 54, it's going. He's going to get there, but Wiles, I don't know if he's got the speed to do it. Delaney's trying to recover from when he got a little loose. He's going to keep moving forward. No one's right on his 6th. He's now under a second. These guys are coming together. Just like I said, all the top 4 are under a blanket, just about to be 1 second separated from each other, and we're going to see this battle to the end. Will's got it right now. Let's see if we can get a camera on the lead. Oh, he got turned by a lap car. Bill Hull spins the 54 of Alex Coffey around. Caution is going to come out, and we're going to get a restart.
I knew the lap traffic was going to affect it. I didn't expect it to affect it that way. Let's take a look at the replay here. You can see that 76 right up in front of your leader of the 91. 91 goes for the dive, heading off into the turn. The 54 going to look to try and follow. You play a game of lap traffic chicken as you get towards the end, drivers following each other. And I think that was just a matter of 2 cars finding the exact same piece of real estate at there on the road. Nothing intentional either way.
Nothing intentional.
Yeah, that's just a racing deal.
Oh, yeah, big time. Yeah, it's so unfortunate for the 54. He had great speed today, had a good shot to go out there and try to win the race, but unfortunately, just bad timing. It was so unfortunate. I hate to see it. I really do. But now we're going to get a restart here. Oh, now here's a question. Does anyone want to come down? Do we have any sets of tires left? I don't think anybody wants to do that. I don't know if anyone saves a set. I don't think that's the case. A couple cars coming down, Hull and Brown, but I'm not seeing any lead lap guys. We're going to get this restart on very old tires. And the car to watch, Jonathan Delaney. He has the freshest tires out of anybody in the top 5, and that's going to severely hinder the other cars who are on slightly older tires. No matter what, that's just going to be how it looks. So again, it's going to be the 91 leading this thing right now. Jacob Quill came down pit road before anyone else around him, so he has the oldest tires. Daniel Wiles, sitting P2 right now, has a shot. He's just got to be able to hold off the car that has the freshest tires in this group, and that is Jonathan Delaney. Then again, restarts like this, Delaney's going to be on the inside, which is going to severely help him. But anyone on the top lane, it's going to be a big problem. It's going to be hard to get through because that top lane has just done nothing all day. There's been no restart speed on the top, and that's going to be something to keep in mind, Ron.
See, now there's a 3-word phrase that's popping into my head. CBC. No, not the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Cautions breed cautions. What do you think the chances are that this restart goes off without a hitch? Not very high. I'll be completely honest. There's too much tension in this field. I feel like if these drivers can negotiate this restart cleanly, yeah, that'll be the day that I walk out to the streets of Philadelphia and I see Bigfoot riding a unicorn.
Well, what I can say is that you got 2 rookies on the front row, okay, man? You got 2 guys on the front row, Quill and Wiles. These 2 guys, with them having those golden bumpers on the back end, that's going to tell me that even though that they're, these guys have raced before and they're really, really dang quick, they really want to get a win. It doesn't matter if you join a new series like this, you're going to get a win. You got to try everything you can to try and make that happen. And we're coming through through turns 3 and 4 right now live. The leader is coming off of the corner and heading. Yeah, I think you're a little bit behind. Our broadcast is behind. Oh, nope, we're not. Nope, we're good. Nope, we're good. Here we go. Through that restart zone, we're back underway. Here we go. We're good. Holy cow, 42 did not get a good jump. And here comes the 6 of Delaney, just like that.
They're rucking farther in the back. I believe that's Llewellyn that just got spun there in a big stack up on the restart, but we remain clean and green. Quill holding on to the top spot. Delaney right behind. Hickson gonna look to rattle both their cages, though, with now 7 laps left to go.
Yep, here we go. Top 3, all under a blanket. Here comes Delaney to the inside, trying to make the pass, but Hickson ball gets to the outside line. Not going to make the pass on the top. The 91's trying to hang on. 6 is on the inside. Almost there. Look out. Near contact. It's going to hang on to it. Hickson ball wants it. Delaney wants it. Both of them are going to try everything they can, but Quill's got it right now, and he's just got to hang on to the position with 6 laps to go when they cross the stripe.
Oh, and now look at Hicksonball. He's going to look to try and stick his nose into this fight as well. Delaney may be a regular runner in the Cup Series, but Hicksonball, this is his bread and butter car, and he's going to prove it. Move down the inside in through 1 and 2. A thunderous spot there to try and get the spot done at Hicksonball. Going to look to claim it, but Delaney fighting back on the outside. There's just biding more time for Quill and giving him more of a buffer as well. Look at that margin grow. Only 1/10.5 though. These racers still side by side into 1 and 2. It's just helping the case of Quill even more.
Yeah, this is going to be the battle for the eventual lead. Here we go. 6 car gets into the outside wall, still side by side for second. The 91's hanging on. Got to give this 91 some props. Oldest tires in the field, and he's hanging on to it. And behind him, just side by side, nobody's giving an inch. 91 goes up the block, the 6 contact. They're going to be 3 wide. Look out, hang on to it. 91 saves it. Still 3 wide in the middle of 1 and 2 for the lead of the race with 4 laps to go. Side by side for the lead now between Hicksonball and Delaney. Side by side, both cars have been racing each other for a long time. It could be either or. Here we go, coming to get 3 laps to go when they cross the stripe.
And as the 91 sent it so far up into turn number 1 and 2, he nearly ended up in Timbuktu. These two at the front of the field now giving us a brilliant scrap. Hicksonball on that inside line, getting a little bit physical with Delaney, who's still keeping him honest there on the high side. Hicksonball yet to clear him. Contact made. That was huge into 3.
Coming to get 2 laps to go. You saw it. Hicksonball got the pass cleared. Now it looks like that he's trying to go for 2 race wins in a row. He won last week at Martinsville. Was able to hang on to make it happen. Coming to get a lap and a half to go. No one is in his zip code. And Seth Foudy, though, has driven through the top 10 all the way to 3rd. Now trying to catch Delaney for 2nd. No caution yet. We're still green. And coming to out of turn number 4 to get the white flag. 1 lap to go. Bryson Hicksonball leading this thing by a large margin over Delaney. He's just got to navigate 4 more corners. Exiting turn 2, down the back straightaway for the final time. It looks like that 63 is going to be trying to go for 2 as there's wrecking behind cars sliding. Look out, contact Seth Foudy, spins the 6 car Delaney around. But Hicksonball out of turn number 4 will come to the line, and he will be a winner again. 2 weeks in a row for Bryson Hicksonball in the Friday Night Lights Series.
Oh, and in that wreck farther behind, Blake Kluot picked up a DQ, disqualified as a result of an incident point violation. Huge moment through turn number 3 and 4. Delaney getting sent around. Seth Foudy, the other driver who sent him into that spin. Let's take a look at this here as they head their way off through 1 and 2. At this point, all hope of victory was lost, and it was just pretty much a Dinoco all's mine moment here. Heading off into turn number 3. Goes for the dive. How do you see that, Kirk? I think that was just kind of touch and go. Probably both drivers kind of adding into that incident taking place as you can see the rest of the field stacking in.
Yeah, a lot of cars wrecking at the end. It's just how you expect to see it. But unfortunately, that contact, I'd need to see it again. We already saw right there some cars getting doored into the outside wall. This is a little further back as Hicksonball's doing burnouts on the front straightaway right now, being victorious. Contacts in Wineland. Gradzicki in the 31 gets some contact. He spins. You see Truel there as well. These guys are all trying to get every spot they can get. But let me look at this one more time. You see the 77. He's going to go up a little higher. He's going to arc it down, and he's going to get a run on the 6 car Delaney. Heading down the back straightaway, the 77. He's going to make his move to the bottom. He is there. 6 car comes down, makes contact with the 77. I'm going to say that that was a racing incident. Not at all something the 77 wanted to do. 6 car came down, made contact, and that was the end of that. Let's take a look at our finishing results here as Bryson Hicksonball gets the job done on this lovely day here in the Thunder Alley 250. Bryson Hicksonball wins over Seth Foudy. Great run for him to get 2nd. A little chaotic there at the end with the contact. Sends the 6 car out into 10th place, it looks like. Then you got Jacob Quill, Joseph McHorter, Daniel Wiles. Jacob Simpson gets a top 6. That's awesome. Good for him. Nolan Hodgson in the 7th place. Noah Woods getting 8th. Hunter Truel getting 9th. And also Jonathan Delaney will round out your top 10 finishers.
And then looking from there, Eric Wineland is in P11, Blake Kluot in 12th. Not sure how that will stand, though, with the disqualification. We'll wait for further award there. I believe because he was the last car on the lead lap at the time, he gets sent down to be the last car on the lead lap at the time. Anyways, Mason Lowry is in P13, Cliff Mullins in 14th, Tanner Marty in P15, Tim Phillips is in 16th, Casey Graves in 17th, Aiden Amaro in P18 with Jared Grodziski in P19, and Daniel Wallen completing your top 20.
21st, Brian Wertman, followed by Drew Prohl, Matthew Boston Wheeler, Bill Hull, Alex Coffey, falling back after a good run today, Michael Mesnard, Jeremy B. Brown, Kevin Zosiak, Brandon Hunsinger, and Jesse Winslow round out your top 30. 31st will be Lucas Hoisma, Ryan Von Hinchel, 32nd, Bryce Reiner, William Owens, Andrew Dyson, Kyle Ammon, Wesley Napier, Tyler Hunter, and Charles Eaton. All are your finishers after 250 laps here at the Rockingham racetrack. Gotta say, man, it was fun to watch. Let's go ahead and bring in our winner, shall we? Bryson Hicksonball comes on in, and he is a two-time winner 2 weeks in a row for Bryson Hicksonball. Tell me, you got a copy first?
Yeah, I got you guys.
It's good to hear from you, Bryson. Way to go out there and try to win 2 races in a row, and you sure did. Showed them up, and that's definitely going to put you as the points leader. How's that feel, man?
Oh, it feels real great. If you guys had watched me at all in stage 1, you probably would not believe that I was winning this race with how bad my car looked there with the last 20 laps of that first stage. This thing was evil because I didn't know how to drive it. And then Adam Benefiel took me to school. We did a his way, my way run there, and it worked out in stage 2, and I just made it work much better in stage 3, and somehow got back to the lead.
Well, that was awesome to watch, man. It was actually one of my favorite finishes of the year so far. It was really fun to watch you. But you got side by side with the 6 car Delaney there at the end of that race. Take me through that last couple corners whenever you made contact. Just take me through how your thought process, what happened there, and altogether how the race went for you and how you feel, and also anybody you want to shout out as well.
Yeah, I knew that I had a little bit better tires than John. I was catching him before that caution. I know that he was going to be much better than the other cars. Like we were running down the top 3, but we all pit the latest between the 2 of us. I pit just after him, and I felt like I took care of my tires a little bit better in the middle of that run and could close in a little bit more than him at the end. When we had that caution, I knew that it was going to take a little bit for it to get going, and that me and him could start moving forward. And luckily, the outside line spun their tires. Me and him got clear, so we got to both go around the leader. After Jacob kind of went up the track and we ended up 3 wide, I knew that I just needed to hit my line in 1 and 2 and get it there. And we were both fighting for that like middle lane and a half ish. I drove it in there a little bit deeper than I did the previous laps. I washed up a little bit. He was trying to pinch me down. We made contact, but I mean that's just kind of what happens. 2 guys fighting for real estate there. Going into turn 3, I felt like he tried to turn in a little bit early and kind of hit me in the right rear a little bit. He didn't mean anything by it, but I didn't feel like I arced him out or anything. But we'll see how he feels about it. I'm sure he's probably moved on to what happened in turn 3 on the last lap, because I saw him wrecking my mirror. That was unfortunate for him, but somehow I managed to win this race. I would not have believed that 2 hours ago.
Well, again, congratulations on the win, Bryson, and it was fun watching you all day. Be able to come back from that rough handling car in the first stage. And again, thanks so much for coming up here and talking with us.
Thank you, guys. I do want to shout out Adam Benefiel again. He coached me through what I needed to do in this race. Got some good lessons about tire saving there, and I might need to ban him from a few more races so he can be my crew chief more.
Well, either way, man, I hope we get to see him back here because it's fun watching you 2 battle. No joke about it. It's fun to watch. Anyway, man, we wish you the best of luck next week at Bristol, man. I'll see you on the track.
You guys, see you there.
Yep, you got it. That was Bryson Hicksonball. Now we're going to go ahead and bring in our second place finisher, Seth Foudy. He's going to be with Ron.
Yeah, and Seth Foudy now joining us here in the broadcast booth. Seth, welcome in. P2 for you at the end of this race here at the Rock. How was it?
Yeah, it was a good race. Definitely happy with a second place finish for the Foudy Farm car tonight. We battled pretty tough there. Seemed like kind of as we got later into the run, with the late in the run there where we had to pit there towards the end. We kind of stayed out pretty long, and it's just kind of one of them things where I had fresher tires there, fresher than everybody else, I think, for the most part. I think maybe Hickson said that he had the freshest tires, but I'm not sure. But anyway, we had pretty fresh tires there at the end, so I did come down pit road there and make a little bit of offset adjustment there for the last little run, so I had a little bit more stability. Track temp was really high tonight, so obviously it was a pretty slick track, especially here. And yeah, I mean, it was we battled tough, and I'm glad we were able to get back on the lead lap there at the end and able to bring home a second place finish. I mean, I can't argue with that. I feel bad I do want to shout out John Delaney. I know he's probably pretty upset. I went back and looked at it, and it looked like he was just kind of trying to get to that second lane at least. And, I was kind of slow for maybe my entry going in because I was going to run the second lane, hoping to maybe kind of keep him out to the outside a little bit. So it's just kind of a bad deal there. Racing deal. I know we were kind of fighting for the same real estate, so I do want to apologize for him. And I'm not sure where he finished, but I hate it for him in that situation. So, but yeah.
Yeah, but this is race number 2 of a little streak now of back-to-back-to-back short tracks. Next time out, we're going to be running at Bristol. What are your thoughts heading there?
It's up in the air. Bristol's kind of hit or miss for me, and it's also one of those tracks where it's kind of like a Martinsville in a way where, short tracks, anything can happen. The front stretch or the back stretch can become quite the parking lot pretty quickly. So if we can just keep the car clean, maybe we can come home with, I'm shooting for maybe a top 15. I know that sounds pretty pathetic, but when you go to a track like Bristol, anything can happen. So, I doubt that we're going to maybe run up front and be in a position to win just cause I'm not the strongest at that track necessarily. So we'll have to do a lot of testing this week and see what we can do for it.
Yeah, certainly looking forward to seeing what that short track may have in store. It is kind of like a super speedway-esque short track. The speeds are so high for a short track, and the craziness usually breaks out there as well. But Seth, before we let you go and celebrate this P2 run, we'll let you give any thank yous or shout outs.
Yeah, I want to give you guys a shout out for sure. What you guys do in the broadcast is absolutely amazing. I love going back and watching Maconi Entertainment broadcast. My son is 22 years old, and he runs on iRacing as well. And we did a race, and I'm not going to go long-winded here, but we did a race a couple years ago. You guys did the broadcasting for it, and my son says to this day, you guys are the absolute best at doing broadcast on the service. So shout out to you guys, and thank you for what you guys do. And then just a shout out to my wife. She's my crew chief and spotter for every race that I do. And she puts in a lot of hard work to make sure that we keep the car clean and have good runs and when to pit and all that kind of stuff. So shout out for her to be a part of my iRacing and things. Check out the FLCC.com. We have a whole line of different products on there. And then also shout out to Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, because without him, I wouldn't have any of this sim equipment and stuff like that. So I've just been very blessed in my life. So, and that's pretty much it. Thank you.
And thank you for the kind words, man. And thank you for joining us in the booth, Seth. Well done on the P2, and we will see you next time out at Bristol.
Thank you, guys.
And that right there was Seth Foudy, P2 finisher. It's a little bit disconcerting when you hear a driver talk about their son being 22 when you in the broadcast booth are 21. But anyways, Kirk, I'll pass the mic back off to you.
Yep, you got it, pal. Don't worry about that, Ron. It's okay. We all start somewhere. we all end up being that age. All right. Jacob Quill, Kirk Mills in the booth. You got a copy, pal?
Yes, sir. Hi, Kirk.
Hey, man. Hey, third place today. You had some old tires on that car. You were able to hold them off for a long time, but eventually they were able to get by you, and you saw the chaos in front of you with Foudy and also the 6-car Delaney, but you came back, get through that crash, and you get third place, man. Congratulations on that. It was fun watching you. Tell us about your day.
Our car was just, I don't think it was the best on the long run by, I don't know, a decent margin. Me and Joseph were working together and trying to get our cars to be the best it could, and we just couldn't find long run speed, unfortunately. But other than that, on the short run, we were really good, and I had to try and make some strategy calls there at the end to try and get one done. But caution came out, and that wrote it all.
Yeah, I got to ask you there, Jacob, when you came down pit road, because you were the first one that I saw go down pit road from the top group of guys. You came down and way earlier than anybody else. Whenever the laps kept ticking down and you saw these guys stay out longer and longer, did that bring you any worry? Did that give you any confidence? How did that feel for your dynamic?
Not at all. I wasn't worried about them whatsoever. I knew they were going to go to lap 40 just due to the fact that it was our last tire set. So just, they were going to stick it out just in case a caution like this did fall. And, worked out for some of those guys that did stay out later. And, but no, I wasn't worried about that in the moment. I was just worried about trying to get a race to the green, until the checkered actually. And, didn't quite go that way, but I had to make some sort of call to come down because our car was falling off pretty bad if you recognized that or saw that. So we had to do something about it.
And you did something great. You got to the top 3, man. Anything you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as shown on the car, I want to thank Outlier for giving me some really good setups always. They're really good setups. And, Calhoff Deech Racing for allowing me to come run a part-time schedule here in one of their cars that they picked up. And I appreciate them a lot for that. And, also I'd like to thank you guys. First interview up here, first podium in this league. And it feels good in my second start. So, thank you guys for putting on the broadcast.
Yeah, it's obvious you got the speed, man. Now I think that we might see you up here a few more weeks throughout the rest of the season if you continue the race. Hopefully we'll see you at Bristol next week if you do, either way. Thanks for coming and talking with us, Jacob.
Yep, see you later.
I think I got dragged somewhere. Are we back?
Yep, we're back.
All right, I don't know how I got dragged, but that was interesting. All right, we're good. Well, that will do it for us here, folks. Let's take a look. Ron, what'd you think about that?
I like Rockingham. I adore this place. I think it put on some good racing too. We weren't really sure what to expect heading into this race, were we, Kirk? But we definitely got a little bit of craziness, definitely in stage number 2. But as we got to the end, it refined itself into really fun racing out there on the racetrack, really intriguing strategy content as well, and a nice little tire game. For us broadcasters, we can enjoy drivers having to save tires and run a little bit of strategy. For the drivers behind the wheel, it's probably a little bit infuriating, but hey, we're here in the broadcast booth. We'll focus on our own broadcaster issues and what we want to see out there on the racetrack, and not to really worry about what the drivers are having to deal with. But Kirk, that was a fun one, and looking forward to Bristol next time out. I think that's going to be an absolute hoot.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be in the car for that one. I'll be racing with these guys, hopping down, having some fun. Bristol and Talladega are my 2 main starts this season. I wanted to go do some part-time stuff, so it'll be fun to watch. Make sure you come and tune in next Friday night to be able to watch it. I'm Kirk Mills alongside Ron Mons in the boots, and of course we also got our producer Howie Burrows. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.